Yeah, I can see Ancient already hopping on the train of what I'm going to be doing today.
Hello.
I troll for you. Oh, of course. Good to see you, bud. And Hillgarden.
Hello, Troll. Hello, Hill Garden.
I'm glad to be getting back into it today, though, because last week really kicked my butt. I could not believe how bad I felt like I had both the flu and COVID at the same time. With the effect of it anyway, because I got vaccinated for 4 different vaccines all at once.
Jeez.
Yeah, a quadruple vaccination. And yeah, it totally kicked my ass. My wife was fine. She literally was like pepping her step all good. She got the same thing I did. But no, I had to be the little upset one that the body hated it. So
Like, did she call you? Like, did she say you got the man flu? And
yeah, no, I'm definitely one of those people that fall into that trope of like, I normally have like what is it like what do you call it, an iron gut or whatever. Like I have no problem normally when it comes to like casual sickness. I rarely get sick, but when I do get sick, I am pathetic. I am pitiful, and
get sick harder.
I get sick so much harder. Yeah, exactly. So, it's rough. But we got little anger here and Felix. Good. Oh man, I'm so happy to see all the regulars coming back. That's awesome.
Yay.
Let's see here. All right. Wavies for everybody. Wave. Yeah. I hope you guys are doing well. Oh, look at that graphic, Felix. That's awesome.
Brad.
Yeah, the whole Western Nexus that we have going on the Gnarly Studios server now is just really cool to see everyone kind of taking their fantasy characters that we've been developing for a while and just going, you know what? Let's do a Western instead. And just completely shift gears. It's too much fun. The fact that we can do this so fast, so snappy is what's so exciting about it. You know, like the idea of doing that on a traditional production would be just nightmare fuel to be like, to have a producer, like an executive producer come in and be like, all right, I know you guys have been working on this fantasy story for a year, but we're going to do a Western instead. Just the sheer panic of all the production house would be, I wouldn't want to be in that room. Let's just say that. I didn't know a GIF could be a sticker. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to abuse the crap out of that moving forward too, as AI video gets so good. I've been really impressed with what everyone has been doing on our server. Actually, let me zoom in here a little bit so I can show you guys some of the shenanigans that have been going on. I do have a private server, not private, a server for what we do here on the stream. And it's called Gnarly Studios. You're welcome to join it. But yeah, thank you so much, Kinky. And Kinky will have that posted inside of VC text here, and I'll give a whole little guide for the new people here that join in just a couple minutes. But I do want to show you guys this. So there's a AI video playground that I believe I Troll For You started. I forgot who started exactly, but you guys have been just going nuts with the new AI video tools that have been popping up online. And it's just really cool to see actual coherent animation from so many of y'all. Like this one made me laugh because I was just like, okay, yeah, I love the idea of them hugging and then they share a face after that. This one's a bit weird. Let's see. This, yes. So anything that involves our characters is just super neat. Even if it's a little incoherent right now, it's still really neat because we can isolate parts of the frame and fix it actually in After Effects. So just seeing, Rhapsody's character here, Fungi Mancer's character next to mine, next to Gompasta's, like all just kind of hanging out, interacting with each other. It's just super cool. I think this is, one of the more exciting places that we're going to be able to go with this stuff. In fact, I'm not ready to make any announcements for it yet, but we do have a user who is like pretty common here. You've seen her around and whatnot, but she will be doing basically directing a full animated music video. And we'll be having that on display probably right after Halloween. That's kind of my expectation, is that we would get all that live by then, so that everyone can start contributing to the same animated short. And we'll get to that a little later. It'll involve the Western Nexus though. But yes, like just some of this animation is just ridiculous to me. Like I love it. It's so cool to see, like, especially like a Lolosun's like sci-fi series that he's been working on. It's just really neat to see like actual usable footage coming from this stuff. And this is another one of Rhapsody's characters here, just walking down the street. I love it. So I highly recommend checking that out. Kinky has posted the link over on VC Text. So let me just give a quick little guide for you guys here, how to navigate the Discord on for Midjourney. I bet 90% of you all know this already, but for the new people, if you look at your sidebar here on Discord, you're going to scroll down and you're going to see VC Text, VC Create, and the stage. The stage is where we're all hanging out right now. But if you are on VC Text, that's where you can chat with me today, and you can see your username and stuff pop up on stream here. But even more excitingly, if you go to VC Create, you'll be able to prompt with us today. And so anything that you guys kind of make here will probably show up on the stream. And we are essentially going to be experimenting with character weights today, as well as just whatever we really want to get into. We'll see what happens. Next week's stream, I'll be doing a focus on Snoopy Time Lord, one of our regulars. I believe they're very, very heavy in the prompt weekend stuff and whatnot. So I'm excited to kind of feature their character Miss Nameless on next week's stream. They would have done
Amazing.
this. Yeah, I love their work, but it's like what's so funny to me is that like I was gonna do this week, and he's like, "I am so sorry, I am going to a 3-day emo concert," and I'm like, "Which one?" Because I want to know. I want to know. And he showed the lineup, and I was like, "Holy crap! Blood Brothers is on is the headliner for the 3rd day," and I was so jealous. I would 100% have wanted to go to that show. Yeah. So, okay. But what we got going on here inside of VC Create. Oh, hey, Legal Beagle, good to see you, buddy. Whoop. So what we got going on in here is in VC Create, we are working with character referencing, which is the --cref. And we'll also hop by the main website too, so that you guys can see this process with the, off of Discord as well. But for now, we're going to stick inside of Discord so that we can keep collaborating with each other today. But you'll see that we have been running with the prompt Halloween costume, and then running with a low character weight, a character weight of 20. This will retain some of your character's design, but what it's going to do is it's going to lean significantly on whatever is inside the prompt. So working with Halloween costumes is really fun. So like, for example, I can hit /imagine here. I'll zoom in so it's a little more easy to read. So we'll do /imagine. And then I have a couple characters saved inside of my Midjourney account, and I'll explain how to do that here in a minute for anyone else that needs it. But what we're gonna do is write Halloween costume. And you can really set any kind of costume you want for your character at this point. Like, this is the fun part about really low character weights, is that you're really letting the prompt, control the character down to the point where if you run it low enough, you'll get like a mask of your character, So if you want to specifically a Halloween mask of a cartoon character, you can actually get it to be something that you might be able to make in real life too, like just as inspiration fuel. But let's just do Halloween costume, and then I'll pick one of my characters. I'm going to do a cref of Sage at the office, and then I'm going to make sure that's a Niji, because she is a Niji character. And then the most important part of this prompt is actually to run a low character weight. So -CW and then 20. And any low number will work, but if you do 0, there's a good chance your character might not even be, noticeable or recognizable. So as that's running, you can see we have I love this character. It's this I'm blanking on her name right now, but I adore her regular costume, and then seeing Gompasta's character here, who is by the way Vilmer or Valmer. I think it's Vilmer. I love the idea that Vilmer is this like antithesis to Victor. It's like this like reverse or mirror brother of him. And it just playing around with some of the stuff we did over the weekend, over this week, where we made comics together, being Gompasta. So much fun to do, and we'll probably check out a couple of those a little later. But let's see what our result for Sage at the office in a Halloween costume came out to be. Okay, all right, let's take a look. Okay, this is really cute. You'll notice that the theming of Halloween tends to make things like witch hats and pumpkins be like super dominative as a result. Okay. So if we're seeing too many patterns that are, that we want more diversity out of these results. I want to see many different kinds of costumes. I don't want to necessarily write them in just yet. I want to see what Midjourney just makes for us. So let's work with some negative prompts to kind of move these results away from the idea of a witch or pumpkins. We can do that pretty easy. So I have remix mode on, so that means I can just hit reroll here and it gets my prompt back up here. And so I'm going to do -no, and then I'm just going to write witch and pumpkin. So the thing to keep in mind is that when you use negative prompts like this, every word is like individually respected, right? So if you want to do like witch hat or whatever, you might just want to combine them together. Because if you just do witch and then hat and then pumpkin, all hats, like the entire concept of hat, will be in a negative prompt there. So let's just submit this, no witch or pumpkin. And we'll just see what we get off of that. Gompasta said, careful. Here, I'll zoom out so you can read her comment here. Gompasta says, careful, Neji likes to gender swap male characters at low CW without specifying a gender in the prompt. Leads to some funny results. Yeah, I don't really have any problem with Midjourney's gender swapping. I think it's actually quite fun. But it is something that if you are conscious of that, you might want to do, you might want to specify that you want a male character or a male costume. All right. And also, by the way, we will be jumping off of Neji here in a minute because these kind of results are ridiculous when you can start to mix reality in with it. So we'll be doing that here in a minute. But since Sage is a Neji character, I'm going to mess around with that a little bit first. So let's find there we go. Okay. This is what I wanted to show you guys here. So by removing witch and pumpkin, we start to see a lot more diversity in terms of the I would say like the general theming of it. So excuse me. Ooh. So instead of just specifically, all right, like trick or treat Halloween costumes, a witch, Dracula, that kind of thing, we start to see much more diversity in terms of what sort of outfits they can wear. And we're seeing another pattern here, which I believe is kind of like Asian inspired or samurai or anything like that. So we might want to do like a negative prompt on like geisha or on like a samurai or something like that. Let's try that really quick just to see what we get, and then I'll see what some of the other stuff you guys have been doing. Samurai. All right. Okay, let's let that run, but I want to kind of scroll back up here really quick because I saw some fun results. Okay, an Oni wearing a Freddy Krueger Halloween costume. Look at the stripes on that. That's awesome. I love the third result here, by the way, the one with the where the hand is kind of a little bit of a forced perspective towards the audience. That's awesome. I love this one. Let's see. Yeah, see, this is what happens without negative props, right? It's very very witchy and very what is it? Somewhat pretty sexualized right off the bat. You know what I mean? So we'll keep that in mind with the negative prompts that you'll want to kind of lean into that stuff. He is wearing a Halloween costume from Gompasta's Vilmer character here. With no negative prompts, it's very vampiric. I have to admit I really like the one with where he's just like a tattered stripe for his shirt. It's hot. Okay, let's move on. Let's see here. Some pretty fun results that we're getting here, guys. I already am liking this, but I brought this up earlier that doing V6 6.1, then we get all sorts of like realism in there, and we'll be able to see what the real life versions of our characters look like by asking for the Halloween costumes. All right, so Rhapsody asked me something here. Are we prompting Halloween costumes? Yep, that's what we're doing today, Rhapsody. So inside of VC Create, we have a couple new people here, so I'm just going to show you guys. Inside of VC Create, right above the stage here, you can prompt your characters and ask for a Halloween costume with a low character weight. That will let us be able to see what sort of fun costumes you guys can generate with your characters. And RRR, this is we actually don't see a lot of African American characters, so this is pretty exciting for me. I do like seeing this kind of more diversity in the results that we get here. So this one's really cute, really fun. I like that. It's a little sharky boy. I like that, Legal. JDRS says, howdy, folks. Yeah, how's it going? Good to see you. Ooh, the Dracula costume on Vilmer is awesome. That's really cool. So we'll be able to mess around with some of that stuff here. Sweet. And what? Yes, what? Yes, indeed, what? I have my smoothie, by the way, so this is appropriate to see, like, sipping Vilmer. Like, I have a chocolate coffee espresso smoothie. It's just necessary. Okay, cool. Let's see here. So let's go over. If you guys do not have a character yet, it's pretty easy to either just gen one up for yourself. If you have like some sort of original character idea, you can just ask for it from Midjourney and start to create a character sheet like we normally do here on the streams. But if you don't have a character in mind, we actually have a Discord server called Gnarly Studios. I brought this up at the beginning of the stream. And inside of that, we have something called the Character Portal, which is where all you guys are submitting your characters so that other users can take them and create either comics or videos or whatever with them. And you get to keep track of your characters, like their journey through AI video and imagery. Because every time someone posts to your character in here, you get an update, you get a ding on your phone or whatever. So it's really cool to see the kind of side stories and also especially the crossovers between your all's characters. Super, super cool to just like here's Gompasta's Vilmer here. And we were, there's one of the comics that she had made here. I love all these. It was this one here. This one I thought was cute. So it says, you defy me, feel my wrath of, and then just fizzle. Okay. I thought that was such a funny little comic that I actually made a little response to it here. You lost your spark, huh? And then just making fun of him. You know what I mean? Like just the evil stares and stuff or rivalry kind of stares. And so we had some fun talking about that, trying to show off what happens when you run two characters as a character reference. And you get results like this, where the characters share aspects of each other, right? But at the same time, like they're able to like interact with each other, they're able to like punch each other and stuff like that, because we're essentially dictating so much of it with the prompt itself, especially with lower character weights. So we just in-paint the details back in to match our character afterward. So let's see here. We can grab any one of these characters, and I'll show you guys how that works. So let's take, okay, so this one's Legal Beagle's Edward Molinaro. All right. This was a pitch for like a boss-like character from, what is it, for my Sage series. So we're going to take this one image. This is enough information that's inside of here to let Midjourney know what your character looks like. So let's just copy the actual image link to this. And we're going to hop ourselves back over to VC Create, and you guys can see that there's still plenty of new designs that you guys have been working with. Oh, okay. So you have a whole sheet for him here. Okay, so let me grab the links here. I'll open this up so you can see. The Legal Beagle has a bunch of links here for the character now. So I'll go ahead and just copy that. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit /imagine. And then do --cref and then paste those links. That all these links will blend together to create the final reference that's used for this character. But we need to describe what we want, right? So let's just do Halloween costume. And like we showed earlier, we are going to do a negative prompt. So negative prompt for pumpkin and witch. And then a low character weight, so CW20. And let's do this with version 6.1 instead of Niji 6. So I'm just going to run this as is, and we'll see what we get. If you don't know what version you're on, or if you want to check if you're using remix mode or anything like that, it's pretty easy to do. You're just going to write /settings. Okay. And that will pop up your, your ability to turn on and off remix mode right here. But it also will let you know what mode you're in. I'm in turbo mode right now, but understand that's very expensive on your account. So you probably want to stick to either relax mode or fast mode for what we're doing here today. And generally speaking, I'd leave remix mode on, but there is a benefit to turning it off now. Particularly when it comes to variation subtle. So let's take a look at what we got for costume here. And that's Ed as Spider-Man, an Iron Man, and a Captain America. It's Marvel. It's all Marvel today. That's hilarious. But yes, that's the power of using negative prompts, is it lets us get farther away, but also if you notice the idea of a Halloween costume, like when you go to the store, like when you imagine like ordering a costume online or anything like that, or just going to like Halloween Express or whatever, you'll see that it's like this white background, your character like, superimpose their head onto like almost like a default body of the costume, It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see that. So like we could actually like tell Ed, instead of him wearing a Halloween costume, he's shopping at Halloween Express. And this time I'm actually going to remove the negative prompts because there are pumpkins and witches at Halloween Express. But now we're saying specifically that he's shopping there. So let's see what we get with that. Okay. Ooh, a zombie character. Nice. Yeah, it would be fun to like to do zombie versions of all of our characters too in the future. Like if we wanted to do like some sort of zombie nexus, we can do that. It just turned him into those like mannequin things that you can get for your front yard. And it's very defined. That is certainly Ed. Like that is certainly the character that Legal Beagle made. But it is neat to see all the different. The fact that it did such a good job making him look like a plastic like painted thing is super cool. Yeah, look at that. Wait, okay. Oh, what is this? What's going on? A green alien costume for my troll for you for Bill Murr. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I dig that. I dig it. It reminds me of something like a little bit like Cell from Dragon Ball Z, right? Like a little bit of Piccolo as well. Something like that's going on. Yeah. I love how the horns are like now invading into the face here, at least for this left side image here. So what you probably want to do to kind of encourage this result, like if you're using this as a character sheet in the future, one thing you want to do is you want to find the inconsistencies and try to get rid of them, right? So right now you can see that like this character has like this like tube top right on this side, and then the hordes do not go to the face like it is here. So what we can do is we could just highlight over what is incorrect inside of variation. What do you call it? Vary region here. And we are just going to try to bring this character back to match the aesthetic as close as possible. So you see we got elbow sleeves here. So let's make sure we include the arms here as well. And let's see, is that good? Let's also include the top of the hair here as well. And if we run this as a character reference, there's a good chance that it might not do what we want. Instead, it'll try to force some aspect of this character reference that is not going to match the costume. So I'm actually going to get rid of the character reference. And then we also have to get rid of the weight for it as well. And now we'll hit submit. What that's more likely going to do is it's going to rely what's more in the image already to kind of give us the result that works, you know? So we'll see what we get with that. She is wearing a Halloween costume. Okay, yeah, Raps, definitely lower your character weight on this because it's definitely going to be Bird Girl. All the way there for sure. Let's see here. Zombie man. I like that. Hey, look, it's Victor. Nice. It's me. Oh, wow. Biting my own freaking fingers. That's an intense image, actually. Because, you know, like it's quite common to get kind of a seductive look when it comes to like, oh, fingers near the mouth or whatever. But like with the zombie, the idea that it's like, I'm just going to bite into my own hand really quick is hilarious to me. But look at this. All right. So we got it here. Let's do the first one. And it really works to do this. See, like, look how intense this is. Like that's gnarly. Okay, but here we go. Look what it did. It did exactly what I thought it would do, which is as long as we remove the character reference, because we're no longer referencing what's inside those links, we're referencing what's in the prompt already here, right? We now have a proper profile and face front of this like costume alien version of Vilmer. Okay, so that's the power of knowing when to use character reference and when not to. It's quite common that people will just leave things as they are when they're running prompts and not realize just the importance of if it's already in the frame, it means so much. It includes like comic panels, speech bubbles, that kind of thing. If you have a speech bubble or a comic panel already in your result, you probably don't need to be redundant and to say it again. You'll probably get a result that's similar to that just by describing what else is in the scene or something like that. This also applies to style referencing, by the way. Like if you go ahead and say, I want to have a comic panel and I'm making comics with a style reference that includes comic panels in it, you probably don't need to write comic panels because it's already referenced inside of there. So experimenting in that regard will help a lot. But there is one major inconsistency still, which is the chest area here is black, while it should be more of a gray or dark color like this. And the hand is alien on one and regular on the other, like humanoid on the other. But since we do have an alien hand on this left side here, let's actually select this one as well. And we'll do the last correction on this costume here. So let's go ahead and highlight that hand like that. And then I'm also going to highlight this chest piece here, trying to make sure I select only where I need to. And we need to actually get the sleeve as well. So let's do that here. We'll go a little under the elbow just to see if we can encourage that result to be a jacket sleeve here. All right, that should be pretty good. Let's submit this. And we're really just leading into the existing result of being like, oh, wow, that worked. Okay, let's keep going. So, oh, yeah, there's Zombie Michael. That's a rather old one from you, man. I'm curious to see evolving that one. Ooh, Miggs. Who's this character? I want to see the original. Nice. Oh, I love these demon characters, guys. Okay, cool. She's wearing a Halloween costume, but we need to make sure that we drop that character weight, which I'm sure you're doing right now. But let's see if you have. I'm just going to search for Migs here really quick. Yeah, you did it. Look at that. Look how cute it is. It still has the wings, but except for this fourth one here, there's no wings on that one. That's cute, though. Let's see. I noticed you did it again. I'm loving all the zombie Michaels, but I want to focus on Migs here really quick. Where are you? You're probably still rendering. It's all good. I'll find you in a minute here. But if we look at the costume now, already it's so much better. Okay. We have got the sleeves on all of them. We can basically pick whichever one we think is the best for that. I think that's going to be the first one here. We have a belt. We have a chest piece. We have, like, everything matches now. So let's go ahead and just do the first one. Michael, zombie Michael, like raver, like, oh wow, that's hilarious. And I'll check out whatever else you guys get going on in here just a minute. I just want to emphasize the costume here. This just shows you like how important it is to be like selective about like the areas, like the fact that you're kind of compartmentalizing your very regions until everything matches, because we're trying our best to only keep what we need to have it be consistent inside of the frame. I don't need to constantly change the prompt to say, all right, now he's wearing, an elbow sleeved white shirt or anything. I don't need to write that because it's already in the image on one part of it. That level of redundancy can sometimes get you pigeonholed and stuck into places. I instead rely so much more on the visual information that's inside of this to kind of guide the results and try to only change one aspect of the prompt at a time instead of rewrite the whole thing. That gives me far more control. We're also using style raw here, which probably helped, but there's Migs. There's Migs' character here. Now I wonder if we did a reroll of this, okay, with Migs' character, and then we described her as an angel costume, okay, and I'm curious how much of the demon a wing still pops out of that. So let's see. And since I'm in turbo mode, everything's going to render really quick for me. And then I'm going to scroll through the rest of your old stuff here, because there's a lot. Is this a Rocky? Yes, it's Rocky Horror Picture Show. I could tell immediately that that's where you were going with this. That's great. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is awesome, Ancient. Sick. Any of these results, by the way, we will be able to use them as a character reference. So we'll try the alien one out here in a minute. Ooh, this Michael, this zombie Michael is great, actually. I really love the muted colors throughout all this. There we go. Okay, so look at this. Angel costume. We literally have an angelic version of this demon character now. And it's reminding me of one of the Hellsome artists, the main Hellsome artist. They do like a Heaven and Hell series, and this is reminding me of that. That's really cool, though. Let's try to add my personalization code on there because it does like minimalism. Like it brings it to a much more finer line. And so you guys are more than welcome to use my personalization code. These are not really private. You can do it by using hyphen and then writing just the letter P, assuming that you've rated enough images inside of your Midjourney or your Niji account. So let's just hit submit for that. And we'll take a look at what mine looks like here. My God, there's so many. Okay, not this one. There are so many things from you guys. I think I might have jumped up a little bit by accident too. Yeah, it's all good. That's fine. Yes, I want to make sure that I keep this one open because this is our like alien version of Ilmer, right? So we'll use that as a character reference to see if we can, get us a cool scene, a cool sci-fi scene with them. But I'll just jump to present here. Okay, So here's my personalization code of the angelic version of your demon character. And notice what it did to the line art. Notice what it did to make it like so much cleaner. Because the images that I'm rating on my Midjourney account are all images that I would actually want to see on my Midjourney account. So if we go to Midjourney's website here, and we go over to tasks, okay, you'll see that you have the, You have the image rankings, okay? So we have for Niji image aesthetics and also the standard image aesthetics. Basically, what you guys want to do here is you can go to start teaching, and when it comes to just the base Midjourney, you're going to see a lot more like mixing of realism and all that kind of stuff. But if we now go back over to hold on a second. Yeah, go to Niji here. You could see that the results tend to have two different like kind of effects for me. One of them will tend to be like very, very rendered. Like this is going to be different for every result that you get. But basically what you want to do is you want to select the one that kind of gives you the image, the closer result to what you want your Midjourney account to produce. If none of these do, hit the skip button. And the skip button, if you use that liberally enough to where like you're only selecting images with white backgrounds, for example, you're far more likely to make results like mine where you get consistently white backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. So use the skip button very liberally, making sure that you only rate images that you actually want to see your Midjourney account produce, and it'll be a night and day difference for your personalization code. So let's take a look at some of these demon characters here. Wearing a high drag Halloween costume. High drag. I never heard high drag before. Nice. Baba Yaga Halloween costume. Yeah. Some of the references it will not know, right? But it'll get as close as it can. So let's it's, you know what this kind of reminds me of? It's like a gremlin a bit. Let's actually try to grab an alien scene. So let's do /imagine. And now, yeah, what is low drag? Maybe not. No, yeah, it'll be very, what do they call them? The lot ladies, or like a lot lizard. That's it. You're going to get a lot of lot lizards if you do low drag, I think. So let's grab our little alien version of Vilmer here. We're going to copy that link, and let's do a scene that might make sense for it. So like at the controls of an alien spaceship, and then cref, paste that, and Niji. We may not need Niji. We'll see what it does. We'll do both. We'll just see what it do with both. I'm curious what this character's alien-like character is going to do with 6.1. And then we'll go through a bunch of your all's prompts here because I'm very curious to see them all. And I need to sip my smoothie here in a minute. Okay. At the controls of an alien ship, just kind of looks more like a starfighter. Doesn't really look like an alien ship to me. And also the character design, you can see how the Midjourney is like the character referencing, how it interprets the character. And if there's any aspects, you could negative prompt them out, but I usually end up just changing the actual character reference sheet until it matches my expectations. A couple's Halloween costume. Ooh. Yeah, you're going to have to definitely drop the character weight on that one to get Michael and Sage to do something fun together. I do like the vampiric one, though. That's really cute. Now, understand that whenever you do this, which is what iTroll4U is doing with the multi-character prompting like this is based off of a poster that I made for the 1994 Sage comics. And that poster features both Michael and Sage in it. And if you run this single image as a character reference, as long as the prompt includes at least something referencing two people, it's very likely that you get two very usable puppets that interact with each other. And they are oftentimes romanticized heavily. Like there's a lot of, there's a lot of romantics that happen when you have two characters inside the same prompt. So, it is very cute. It is very fun, but you want to kind of lean those results away from that. And so the way that you do that is let's re-roll this and say a couple's Halloween costume, and then we can say we can either put a negative prompt on romance or whatever. You can certainly do that. But for at least, let me think about how I want to do this. So I want to say, so the word couple, by the way, is going to instantly romanticize it too. So let's do two people in matching Halloween costumes. Okay. Just to get us like something maybe like they're coordinated or whatever. And let's submit that to start. And I see that you've added your own personalization code in there. So we'll see what that what that do. Wearing the high drag Halloween costume. Yes. Everyone's personalization codes are super neat to see it just kind of, shine a little bit about you, right? In it. Is that kinky as a piece of cheese? Halloween costume, feminine wedge of Swiss cheese. Kinky.
It might be.
Okay, so let me re-roll this really quick. I do want to re-roll yours, Kinky, because I'm going to now add SpongeBob and then add a prompt of like, I don't know, 8 or like a multi prompt of 8. So that is done with colon, and then a high number. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to see if we can get it to look kind of like a SpongeBob sort of silhouette, but it's still a wedge cheese. So we'll see what that one comes out with. Okay, so this was a couple's Halloween costume again. Okay, but it's with version 6.1, no romance, the negative prompt on romance. And it still brings the characters close together, but now they're more like FBI agents in the dark area. So that's pretty cool. Oh, okay. And this is also the multi-CRF with Victor and Vilmer. And you can see they share characteristics. They're going to share the horns. They're going to share similar ears, that kind of thing. You have to in-paint the corrections into each one of these, but it allows them to have interactions with each other, like as if like they're kind of talking at the bar or whatever. Or it's very, very cool prompt to kind of make characters interact with each other. So this is the two people in matching Halloween costumes. Notice that because I didn't put a low character weight on there, they are still wearing the same outfits. So let's actually drop that down. We re-roll this, drop the character weight. Now, granted, if we drop character weights and we do multiple characters inside the same CREF, things start to fall apart really quickly. So I'm going to make sure that this is not too low of a number. Let's go for 50. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. Vampiric. Baba Yaga. Okay. This is reminding me of like Moral Oral sort of stop motion, right? Like it is certainly overproduced 3D kind of look, right? But it does remind me of some of the kind of lighting decisions that were made, like particularly the gel lights inside the bars and stuff inside of Moral Oral. I do like the results, though. They are pretty cool. I got kinky as the SpongeBob.
Like, good.
Yes, it does. Oh God, that top left, I had to uppress that top right one because it's just so freaking funny. Oh, I did a good job on that. Kinky cheese. Okay, we got our character weight of 0. Look, there's still plenty of romance in here. Still plenty of romance, don't get me wrong, but it is cool to see like now we get like kind of a vampire aesthetic for both of these here. I'm surfing on the edge with my gens again from Rhapsody. Yeah, that'll happen. But I'm absolutely digging what you guys are doing here. So if we want to take one of these multi-character prompts that we have here, like what Ancient did here with the couple's Halloween costume, we can actually use our /prefers to kind of pull up the characters inside of our accounts. So if you're not familiar with how you do that, or you want to save any one of the results that we have here as a character in your Midjourney account, we use /prefer to do that. So I'm going to quickly get the name of this character because we're going to save the Oni character from Bert here. So let me go to my character portal on my server here. And I am just going to scroll all the way to the top. And let's search Oni. That's not going to pull him up. What is his name actually? You would know. You're here. Bert. Bert. What's the name of your character? Is it Bert? Okay, let me see here. It's Bert. I am super creative. I am super creative. So if we search Bert inside of the character creator here, or character portal, there you go. There's Bert. It's his OC. Nice. So inside of here, we can see that he has a character reference that's been posted here. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight all those links and we're going to hit copy. Okay. And then inside of either VC Create or whatever, you can do this on your private server. Doesn't really matter where. What we're going to do is we're going to hit /prefer. And you'll see it in something called prefer option set pop up. Okay. We're going to click on that. And then we're going to write Bert, because that's the name of the character. And then we're going to click the plus more thingy here to get the value. And now we're going to paste the links. Okay. And that we've included his personalization code in here as well. We don't necessarily need to, but if you really do like how these results look, you can save that as well. For now, I'm going to just include the links because I've noticed that sometimes when you use parameters, especially when Midjourney updates, you don't want to have to re-input all these values again. So just having the links is going to be nice. The second thing is we want to make sure all the links say mj.run on them, because if they say like Discord or anything like that, then those links might be temporary. They may not exist in a little bit. So we want to make sure that they are like Midjourney official links. And if you submit it to Midjourney as a character reference, a style reference, or anything like that, you'll get a Midjourney link for it. So that's the links we want to use. We're going to hit enter on that. And the reason why we just did that is because now it's extremely easy for us to pull Bert up inside of any of these results. So let's say we want, let's get one of the results. let's take Kinky here. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to slide with either pan or zoom. Let's do zoom. Let's do custom zoom. And we can now take out all the links from the character reference for Kinky here and write -- Bert. There is a bug currently inside of Midjourney. I don't know if it has been fixed yet. We're going to test that out right now. But sometimes your prefer option sets, like your /prefers, may not work inside of remix mode. So, if that happens, we just paste the links manually. But let's go ahead and submit this and see if this works. Now, granted, we probably want to describe the prompt a little differently than SpongeBob Halloween costume feminine wedge of Swiss cheese. But I'm just going to submit this to see what it does. And look at this. Let's see what it do. And that's what I thought would happen. So the cref broke, right? This is a pretty easy thing to fix. I'm just going to prompt it here, --cref -Bert. And then I'm going to say just anything for the prompt itself. We'll do comic panels. And since it's a Niji character, we'll add Niji in there as well. And you can see when I wrote --Bert, it replaced whatever was written there with all the links that we saved inside of our account. Okay. So because I have that saved, I can just copy these links now and come back up to Kinky's image here. Just a moment. There we go. We're going to hit custom zoom. And now we're going to replace all of these links within the character reference to the ones that represent Bert's character. Okay. And yeah, we'll just submit it as is. He's going to be another SpongeBob character. Sure. We can also actually tell him to be a specific character too. So we're going to replace all those links again. And then let's do like Patrick from SpongeBob. Okay, submit that and see what we get. Oh, the IRLs. Yes. Okay, we're getting some of the 90s track jacket aesthetic now. 90s siblings. I love also parties, by the way. Anytime we write parties, it's super fun to see those results. So okay, the SpongeBob ones didn't work because we're not describing two people anymore. I realized that I made a mistake there. But it is neat to be able to just quickly refer to Bert though. So let's see about Bert's character here. I want to scroll up and find Bert here. Okay. Comic panels, Bert. So you can see here, we didn't run any lower character reference or anything like that. We get his character popping up nice and consistently with the /prefer. So that's great. Saturday morning cartoon character. Nice. Definitely want to lean towards a lower character weight on that in order to really reinforce the Saturday morning aesthetic on there. You might even want to grab one of the shows and then use that as a style reference. So Vilmer's looking great, looking like a lumberjack, a sexy lumberjack demon. Nice. Okay, so like if I were to do like the Sonic Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog Saturday morning cartoon show, I could just Google it, right? And we have all sorts of different examples, but let's do a screenshot. Also, by the way, Sonic is definitely a dangerous thing for me to be searching for on right now. But let's do a screenshot. Okay, so we could take any one of these scenes. So let's take this one here. I'm going to copy image address. Right click, copy image address. And I'm going to now use this as a style reference for one of these results here. So let's do the mouse Halloween. Where's the cheese? Oh, that's cute. I like that. Let's just get us a prompt that makes sense for like a Saturday morning cartoon show. So let's do animated film. 90s television, 90s animated television, and I'm going to get rid of 90s animated film. 90s animated television show --sref, and then we're going to paste the Sonic the Hedgehog link. And then I'm going to do AR. Because if you remember, those TV shows were an aspect ratio of 4:3. They were not 16:9. The switch to HD would happen in the 2000s. So let's go ahead and submit this as a version 6.1 style reference instead of doing Niji or anything. We don't want to have an anime influence here because, well, there wasn't any anime necessarily at that time period. There certainly was, but not on Saturday morning cartoon shows. Okay. So with the style reference set for the Sonic the Hedgehog show, look at that. Okay, so it's already looking like we've checked the boxes when it comes to making this sort of like 90s anthro look, right? So now we can start to include our characters in here. So let's grab Bert again. So I'll come up here, grab his links. And we're gonna re-roll that. And then we're going to add --cref. And let's actually, if we run this as is, it's most likely going to clash stylistically. So we're going to run a really low character weight. Let's run 10 on there. So yeah, if you guys are like, I need something to look a very specific way, style reference is amazing for that. Especially if you just grab from like popular media or whatever, you'll be able to make whatever you want. So let's take a look at what happens with Bert's character here. We get basically a bit of a beefy looking guy that's here. So let's now try to bring up the character weight a little bit. And then let's do like a specific property that kind of matches the character. So let's do depicting Hellboy. Let's do Hellboy meets Scooby-Doo. Sure. Let's just do that. And then we'll set the character weight a little higher to like 50 and see what happens. I know I'm mixing two properties here, so it's a little unexpected what's going to happen, but going past the Vilmer with the 90s. Yes. It's so funny to see things in proportion to 90s like TV. Ooh, wait. I love this kind of baddie spot. Look at that. Wow. That's actually really cool. Do not, what does it say in the bottom? Do not stone.
That's really cool.
The prompt was MS Paint OC do not stale.
Thank you for that. I needed that laugh. That's really funny. Oh my God, look at Vilmer inside of this though. Oh my God. It's like yes, this is actually stupid cute because now you can like take the characters, right? And start in painting all your other characters into this scene, and you can have your 90s TV show that you then run into AI video and make a little animated cartoon show with it, right? Let's make our own animated Saturday morning cartoons. Okay, look at this. This is the Hellboy meets Scooby-Doo, okay? It's the Scooby-Doo part, probably not a smart idea on my part, but it is neat to see that the aesthetic was kept, but now we have a red like character Hellboy, with the horns and whatnot. But it's the change the beard to black because it's leaning much more towards Hellboy as the character. Yeah, it just looks great. I love this. What I'm gonna do now is and by the way, when it comes to the style references, if they are too strong, like right now it's a bit dark, right? So for the Sonic the Hedgehog one, right, it's all based off of that one that's like, where everyone's like roboticized and all that kind of stuff. If you grab a bit of a brighter scene, right, from the show. So like if I actually what is the official name of the Saturday morning Sonic? It's what is it called again? The complete series? Is it just Sonic the Hedgehog? Huh. I'm trying to remember if there was a specific name for this one, but let's go ahead and do we'll just describe an episode. Like we'll do like episode 3 or something. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we definitely can get more options in terms of the screenshots. So like say like this one here. It's still dark. That show was really dark, by the way. Like in general, it's just really dark. But we can actually combine multiple images as the style reference. So let's re-roll this. And then we can paste another link inside of style reference here and then submit that. And the idea being is that you can, kind of find your blend of results that that gives us this Saturday morning aesthetic that works for you. Ooh, look at this. Oh, I love the Troll Freeze character here. Why am I blanking on her name? It's Echidna. That's definitely one of my favorites from our server. Look at Victor. Yes, please make us all children in this show. Look at this. Okay, so yes, the more style references you provide, the more likely you're going to get a more robust result because you're basically giving it more options to refer to. It's still blending it all together, but it lets us be able to jump out of the kind of like low quality like result that we got here where it's kind of blurry, right? We just want to give it more examples. So we got a little bit better with this one, I think. I do find it funny, the idea that it's kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids on the third result where where they're all really, really tiny. But we'll go ahead and let you guys play around with this for a bit. I want to see the combination of style references and costumes. Okay. And the reason why is because you can actually bring your characters into those shows, into the, like if we do an entire Saturday morning block with the server and stuff, guys, it'll be so cool to be like, okay, yeah, we don't really need any of the animation domination or anything like that. We don't need any of that anymore. We can just watch our own animated films or our own animated cartoons. And there should be so much reference data within the AI video stuff that you can actually, really get some fun animation out of this. If you remember the original G.I. Joe series from the 80s and stuff, that was kind of hell on animators. It was you're talking about humanoid, lifelike, very little creativity, to where the characters were so rigid that any sort of subtle mistake would be obvious. So they just didn't care. Like a lot of times there's so many mistakes in G.I. Joe. But as a reaction to that, 90s off-model cartooning became popular. I'm talking like Rugrats. I'm talking Rocko's Modern Life. I'm talking especially Ren and Stimpy. All these reactions to the rigid 80s animation That's going to be a lot harder to replicate because you're talking about the individual voice of the artist as opposed to like a rigid rule set like you have in 80s animation. So 80s animation is actually going to be a lot easier to recreate, guys. A lot easier because they're all going to follow similar rules to each other. So we might be, depending on the results, we'll see what happens with the 90s cartoons, but anything that leans a little more Disney would be a bit easier as well. So I want to see what you guys do with that. I'm going to take a couple sips from my smoothie here. If you want to jump in, Kinky, or and talk about prompt battles this weekend, feel free. I'm just going to let this kind of scroll up while that's going on.
Howdy. What you guys doing this weekend? Anything good? Are you gonna go and play prompt battles with me? Do you even know what prompt battles is? Well, if you don't, I'm gonna tell you. We have 18 hours this weekend that we will be devoting to prompting at the behest of other people. We do 10 minutes on the clock. You prompt an idea that somebody else had, and we all prompt the same idea, but we come back and show each other what we did, and then we vote on those ideas, and whoever wins that round gets a chance to tell everybody what to do for the next 10 minutes and a free fast hour. You can win free fast hours whether you play or not. I mean, whether you win or not, you got to play. You got to participate somehow, but I'd love it if you came by. A lot of the people that are here right now watching will be there. You don't have to talk on a microphone. That's what you're worried about. You could probably even tune me out completely if you wanted to. But it's a really fun time. It's great to learn how to prompt. It will help you prompt things that you never thought you would before. And we'd love to have you. Everyone's really, really nice and kind and helpful. And I do not see a single reason why you shouldn't be there unless you have something else to do. And this is the invite for Saturday. We start at 3:30 p.m. on Saturday. We go till 10 p.m. And then on Sunday, we start all over again at 10 a.m. This is on the East Coast. But these little invites will tell you what time it is in your neck of the woods. And we go until 6 p.m. on Sunday because we try to get them done a little bit earlier so that the Europeans can become involved. They always have to go home early on home. I say go home like they're leaving here and going somewhere else, but they're actually usually just sitting on their computers at home already. They go to bed at a normal time. So I hope you guys come. We would love to have you and play games with you. Yeah, I can't seem to get my nice Patrick wearing thigh highs mascot costume going.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, when it comes to the starfish costume, right? You might just want to image prompt that much harder, like especially if there's an existing costume.
Yeah.
I actually have to turn.
I really like the way this one's coming out though. Like I'm a little bit deformed.
Let me see.
Chat free for a sec.
Oh wow, ancient. But I got to point out the 90s screen cap here. I love the 90s screen cap prompt, by the way. It really holds that aesthetic of like the kind of desaturated television look. Kinky's character looks amazing with this. So yeah. So if you want to save a result that's not yours into your account very easily without changing a bunch of aspects of it, like zooming out a ton or anything like that, just hit custom zoom and switch the zoom to 1.01. So it ever so barely zooms out on you. That way you get a version or 4 different versions of it that are barely zoomed out that you can then up-res and bring to your account. Very useful tip, by the way. Yeah, I do like the starfish leggings. That's pretty fun. It's from Symvolia. Nice. Look at that. Yes. Okay, so I want to bring I'm gonna bring one of these because Ancient up-res this one. This one looks amazing. This is like, okay, like we're like I don't know, some big bad showed up and we're like, we thought we already defeated the big bad, but it turns out this is one of his henchmen, something like that. So if we take, let's scroll up here a little bit and find one of the other characters. Let's see. Who am I feeling like today? Probably we could. I'm gonna do the Ancient's blonde character here. Okay, let's go for this one here. Copy, and then we'll come back down to this result here. It should be right above here. And there. Okay, so now we're going to do Vary Region. We're going to replace all the character reference here with the link for the other character. Okay. And then we're just going to highlight everything that's about Victor, like everything that's unique to Victor in here. So his hair and all that, we want to make sure we select that and get rid of it. You really dictate the proportions of your results with your in-paints here. So you want to make sure you in-paint really close to the character, assuming the hair isn't like big and bulky, right? And then we will just submit this because the prompt itself is just 90s anime screen cap. So if we wanted to give it particular direction for the character, like let's just say like this character is like wide-eyed and in shock, and then hit submit on that, we are more likely to get a result like that. But if it's not, then we can lower the character weight until it does. So let's see here. There we go. Okay, we have the blonde character here. It kind of gave him a bit of a helmet a bit here and some multicolored stuff. So we might want to lower the character weight a bit anyway. But I do think that that's funny that this result immediately gave us something that I feel like was what I was aiming for anyway, which is like a wide-eyed and shocked. Let's do the second result here. Okay. And this is another opportunity for us to get to the new editor and start messing around with it. But I want to mess around with Kinky's character here and get let's get this result here. I love this little demon character from Migs here. So let's also grab Migs here. And now we're going to go to the official Midjourney website. We'll zoom in for you guys so you can see what I'm doing here. We're going to go to organize or create. We'll go to create here. And let's scroll down to the ones that we zoomed out from Kinky here. There we go. Now we're going to hit editor. In fact, I should probably full screen this down on my tablet here. So let's do that really quick. I'm getting used to my new computer. There's some, I'm not used to Windows 11 just yet, but let's go to the tablet here. Oh, no. Where is my tablet? I need to switch the display here to the campus. There we go. And I'll make this bigger so you guys can see that. Sorry, just a second. I got to troubleshoot this. Okay. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger. Okay. Like that. We're going to hit editor. And now let's zoom out. Let's do like something a little bit here, a little bit up. And then we'll zoom out to the right here as well. Okay. And I'm just going to get rid of all of these references of Kinky here. And we are going to paste the link to Mig's character here. We're going to switch that to a character reference by clicking on the little dude when you hover over the image. Okay. So we have the personalization code still in there that was in the prompt previously. And what we do want to do though is we want to describe the scene. We want to describe it as what we expect it to be, which is now two people in the shot. So 90s anime screen cap depicting two people in awe of something in front of them. Sure. Let's just do that. And then we'll hit submit. And you'll see that we already have these rendering now. Very similar sort of result that we're going to get on this one, I think. There we go. That's exactly what I was aiming for, was like just kind of over the shoulder, like, they're looking up. Okay, sweet. So now we have a character weight of 80 on this, and we have Gompasa's character. Sorry, not Gompasa's. I'm so sorry. A Mig's character here. At least one that's inspired by that character, standing with Kinky and in surprise. Okay, we could just keep doing this, by the way. So like, let's hop back over to our Discord here, and I'm going to grab Bert again here, and let's do the editor. Boom. And let's just zoom out a little wider here. And now we're going to say 3 people, depicting 3 people in awe of something in front of them. Get rid of this image here. Paste all the images for Bert here. And we're going to switch all these to a character reference. Okay. Now, keep in mind, we still have a character weight of 80, so it's going to allow for a little bit of flexibility of the character. But we're going to hit submit on that now. So we should see 3 characters in the frame here by the end of this. We'll see what we get. Yes. Perfect. Awesome. And done. Look at that. Okay, so now if there's any errors or anything like that, we can just make those corrections as needed within painting or anything like that. We could describe what they're looking at, right? Like maybe there is an alien ship that's above them or something like that, but they're looking at it now, so we want to kind of imagine what the next screenshot's going to be. You can also have Midjourney do that for you. It's kind of funny how it works, but we're going to basically come down here, and we're going to allow for plenty of extra room here. I'm even going to bring this. I wonder if this is going to work. We'll bring this into here. And then just a little extra up top. And now I'm going to get rid of all these character references. Get rid of the character weight. And now I'm going to write multiple 90s anime screen caps. Make sure that's plural. Depicting 3 people in awe of something in front of them. Okay. And we're going to hit submit. It could just completely fill out this scene. It may not work, but we'll see what it does. Close this. It gave us like an Akira scene. Okay, this is great. It's more like an Akira movie poster. Oh, I like the 90s hip outfit for Kinky here. It's pretty fun. It's on a motorcycle. And there's a big gun. Okay, so like if we now go back to the original that we had here, so let's go to editor right here. Let's try to make this much taller. Like let's go for something like this. Okay. And we can even get rid of the multiple anime 90s stuff here and just do multiple screen caps as well. So we'll run both of those. I'm trying to get rid of some of the descriptors that may not make sense for what we're aiming for. So like the 90s anime, right, is definitely going to be producing the people, and it's still doing it. It's still going heavy with that. So we might want to describe or use a style reference of like multiple screenshots or panels, to kind of evoke this, as opposed to just prompting for individuals. So yeah, but that was a bit of a bust, but it's okay. I just wanted to show you guys that you can go real nuts with the new editors. Please do it. I want to see what you all do with it. Okay, let's hop ourselves back over to VC Create. There we go. Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm going to highlight some people here just because I know that we have a couple new faces here. But the regulars are the people who really make it special here. So I hope to see you all come back next Friday. We have every Friday. I'll be here streaming at 4:00. I noticed here we have Nixie here now as well. We have Fungi Mancer. We have Curtin. Yeah, it's just really great to have the regulars coming in here. Of course, I've already mentioned a bunch of you all here, but any new folks here, just know that I do have a server for you guys to kind of update and check out other characters and do crossovers and collabs and learn with each other. It's called Gnarly Studios, and there's a link for it above. But if you don't mind linking for it again at some point, Kinky, that'd be great. But the server is really neat because it lets us be able to collaborate with each other in real time. Thank you so much for the link. So what essentially lets us do is we don't only have a character portal where we can share all of our characters, but we also have a challenge area as well, like a challenge forum where you can make memes. You can submit for the comics challenge that we'll be doing for this month, all focused at Halloween stuff. And there's already a couple Halloween comics in there. Lolo soon posted a completed comic already. It's super cool to see. And then also our challenge of doing multiple character referencing, because that's not really officially a thing for Midjourney. Like, essentially, what we're doing is we're using an image of two characters and then running that as a character reference, which gets us kind of like a hybridization of both characters. But usually it's enough for us to then in-paint all the corrections and bring the two characters back into the scene. So it just allows for a level of interaction between the two characters that we wouldn't have had before. And this is by combining style referencing, character referencing, and all the tools that Midjourney now provides. But you could see other people's like attempts to kind of bring characters together, even like to do video. Like this is Victor, Ancient, and Kinky, and I just all kind of hanging out doing a little bit of AI video with Felix here. But yes, the potential here is essentially to say we are getting interactions and reactions from characters that we wouldn't normally have gotten if we had just done a regular character referencing, and we would have had to construct the scenes completely. This just lets us be able to play around with this, and it's pushed the boundaries of what we can do with character referencing. And I gave you guys here the 1994 poster as like a base for that. So curious to see what you guys can do. But otherwise, we also have let's see here. We have a chat as well. So make sure that you guys can like hang out and share like, your favorite videos and stuff. We have all that's here. And we also do an after party after the stream here. So probably in about an hour or so, we will have a place where you guys can all jump on the stage and be able to talk with us directly. So if you have any questions for me or for Rhapsody or I Troll for You, any of the other mods that we have on the server, you guys are welcome to just jump in, share your projects directly, and actually collaborate a bit with us. At least get some tips for what you want to do. So that will be available. We'll post a link for that close to the end of the stream. And then we also have the in productions of both of my comic series, which is the Sage comics. So you can see like my active productions that I'm doing. This is the next comic that'll be coming out for the Sage comics. And that will be sometime next week, probably in the middle of the week. I'm aiming for like Wednesday. I will have a new Sage comic. I've been a bit on hiatus for about maybe like a month and a half or so. I really needed to take a little bit of a mental health break, honestly. So there's no shame in saying that. I just needed to kind of do some other stuff for a while. And yeah, I missed you too, Enid. I even though I've been streaming here every Friday, I really needed to not burn myself out with my stories. Like I have a very bad habit of having a bit of a obsessive streaks and stuff. So whenever my partner comes up to me and is like, maybe we should take a vacation or do something, like change it up a little bit because you're kind of getting stressed out at random things. I'm like, yeah, I know. I really need to take a break. So I did, and I'm really glad that I did. So it is something that it's not always easy to be able to know when's the right time to take a break. But now I'm back into it, and I'm excited for this next comic. It is a direct sequel to the last one. So yeah, get excited for that one. I'll be posting that on the update log inside of our server here, probably next week. But you can see that I basically start off with this result, which is just me starting off with Vicky, moving to the right with the multi-character reference of Sage and Michael. I got that result. This is actually a raw result of that. And then what I did is I just did the editor and I cropped up again. And I started describing the scenes that I wanted. I wanted multiple panels. I wanted different reactions from the characters. I got all of that just by moving around with the new editor. It's amazing what you can do with the new editor, guys. So I just highly recommend playing around with it, especially with the multiple comic panel prompts. Super cool what you can do with it. And you can see that as we scroll up in the Sage comics here, I don't even have really a plan for some of these. These are just the results that I was very happy with, that give us a good starting base. And I always include a link to the prompt whenever I post these. So if you guys want to make your own Sage or Michael comics or anything like that, you just click on the link that's attached to it. And that means you can start doing like a custom zoom, for example, and say, this is an animated film depicting someone reading the name tag pinned on their coworker. That kind of leans into the plot idea that I was working with then. But we can actually say, now let's change this to multiple comic panels. And we'll say multiple comic panels depicting two office coworkers in an argument. Okay. I have the choice of keeping the character reference or not. This is currently the character reference for Sage. I'm just going to get rid of it. But we are going to keep the style reference, which is based off of 2 of my previous comics. And I'll show you guys that in a minute here. We have style raw on, and we're going to just do we could do a zoom of 2, but I'm going to actually do a zoom of 1. And then I'm going to switch the aspect ratio to be something really tall. So it kind of like creates almost like a film strip, like a vertical strip of things. So let's do 2.5. So it'll be 2 lengths wide, it'll be 5 lengths tall. Ratios are kind of harder to get your head around when you think of it as just numbers. So the new editor lets you be able to just like crop things dynamically, like how you would imagine a crop tool would be in Photoshop or MS Paint or anything like that. So we're going to hit submit on this. So we have multiple comic panels depicting 2 office coworkers in an argument. And since this is inside of the White Lodge, we have different colors for all the different AI channels we have here. We can just jump to present to see that result. In fact, it's a Snoopy Time Lord messing around with Legal Beagle's boss characters inside of the White Lodge right now. But we're going to see what that result comes out to in just a moment. Let's see, Snoopy was also messing with Sage here. Don't kick disruptions out of class. Like just being able to write speech bubbles in there right away is super, super neat. But here we go. Okay. So this was my multiple comic panels depicting 2 office coworkers in an argument. And now if we zoom in on these results, we actually see the dynamics of the characters like being respected. Now, this is because I removed character referencing. Okay. I made a very tall, like zoom out, but I specifically said that this was going to be a zoom of 1. So we don't lose any of the fidelity or the quality of the image. We instead are just changing the aspect ratio to be really tall. So we have now 8 additional options to pick from for the comic panels. And this is with the prompt argument. Okay. So that means there's usually an open mouth, an exaggeration, a yelling, or something like that. I really like the first result in terms of the eyes, right? So we can let's zoom in on this one. But let's say that I like this result, but I want to bring it into VC Create for you guys to mess with it too, right? And we can do that very easily. We're going to go to the reactions up here inside of Discord, and we are going to just write envelope. That will bring up the envelope emoji. If you if you press this envelope on any result of yours, Midjourney will actually send you the ID for it, the job ID. So I'm going to now copy that job ID. I'm going to jump over to VC Create, where you guys have been just going ham, by the way. Like, we're going to check all this stuff out here in a minute. There's so much stuff that I have to go through. I'm so excited to actually, like, it's kinky with some reptiles. It's all awesome. I want to see all these in more detail, but I need to show you guys this first. So we're going to do /show. And you notice that it asks for a job ID right off the bat. Going to click on this, and then I'll paste the job ID that Midjourney sent us by using the envelope emoji. And then I'll hit enter. And now my prompt is magically in Midjourney's server rather than my server. So let's just say we like this first result of Vicky's face change here, but we don't really like the third result. That's fine. We're going to hit vary region. We're going to box select that bottom panel, making sure that we, leave some white space underneath Vicky here. I know it's really small here. It's a byproduct of working with Discord, but now we also want to kind of maybe change Sage's face a little bit here. So let's just select her face on the top panel here, and then we'll hit submit. We can always give more direction if we wanted to, but I wanted to show you guys what this looks like when it comes to doing it entirely in Discord first. And then we'll try to do it inside of the Midjourney editor, where you get a lot more control. Is that Master Roshi? Is that yes, as Master Roshi? I knew you were doing Master Roshi with that. That is hilarious. That's awesome, and it's just because of that squat little pose. Okay, you can see this rendering here that we have the reactions and because of the prompt is now saying they're an office argument. Okay. So let's check these out. Okay, that's awesome. Let's zoom in a bit for you guys here. Okay, so you notice that we now kept the reaction of that first panel on all the results, but now we can basically be like, okay, which one is the most entertaining or kind of solves our goals? I do like the second result with Sage's like bottom panel there being very dramatic, but we would need to in-paint Sage's face to be more like hers. Personally, I think the third result gives us the most amount of diversity of the character looks. And also, I do like the fourth result too, but I'm going to go with the third result here. Okay. So look at this. We got them laughing. We got them like, in shock or like basically we got different reactions on each one, but it's the same character, but it's all the same characters. And this is all just because we're referencing what's already in the result in order to just lean us to something else inside of a neighboring panel. So go ham, like go nuts with this stuff, because this is how you really start to see Midjourney be your collaborator as opposed to just a random generation machine, right? It's Kiki and the Kinkies. That's a very glam, or what is the name of that cartoon show of the 90s rock and roll girls? What is it called again?
And the holograms.
Thank you. And the holograms. Yes. Yes. Kiki and the Kongs. There you go. That's perfect. Love it. And if again, style reference whatever 90s shows you want, and you'll be able to make all sorts of fun, inspired by those shows, like aesthetics.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I'd say this is Crystal and the Light Showgirl, not Gem and the Hologram.
I see.
That is my knockoff, Crystal and the Light Showgirl.
Nice. I'm thinking of the Electric Light Orchestra, or whatever, like the one of the trains and stuff. I remember seeing that in person once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was in Belgium at some point. My mother brought me to it, and I was like, so, I don't know. I was really confused by the whole thing because it's just a bunch of roller derby guys in train out costumes. Okay, cool. I'm going to scroll through here for a bit and drink this smoothie again because I'm at another half an hour point here. But there's just some amazing results from you guys. So I'm gonna kind of scroll up here a bit, and I just want to see what you guys have made. So I'll be back in a minute.
Just a second. I have a call coming in.
All good. Hey, I do want to say that some of the stuff that you guys have been doing here, especially when it comes to the 90s inspired television, I wasn't expecting to go that direction today, but that's why I love doing these streams.
They just kind of go on.
They just.
I'm sorry if
You're good.
If I let you down on the sip of your smoothie.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
What kind of smoothie are you vibing with today? Okay, I have a Smoothie King Hulk coffee protein shake. So I always get the one with the cold brew coffee in it because I'm a caffeine junkie. And it's literally the only thing that gets me through the streams, because I can't stop yammering. Obviously, I'm going to keep talking and talking and talking, but it's so funny because my partner, she'll come home from work and I'll just be like dead silent because I've been talking straight for like 3 hours, right? And then Saturday morning will come around and there's just nothing. Like the last thing I want to do is speak. So I let her sleep in as long as she wants, which is fine. I normally do, but it just letting her go, take all the time she needs to get ready in the morning, just because the last thing I want to do is talk after doing these streams and stuff. And so it's quite common for, at least for my Saturdays, to be just me drawing comics, like just me honing in on my tablet and sketching. I'm loving all the stuff from Mix, by the way. Like every time one of Mix's results shows up on this list, I am super stoked to kind of check out what those what they came up with on that. Just because like there's just something really cool about that demon character you got going on. Really love it. So let's see here. I'm gonna pause this for a sec, zoom us out a little bit so I can read some comments. Okay, Celeste says, yeah, I get that. I felt that way last Saturday when I finished volunteering at the bookshop. I was all peopled out and needed some peace and quiet to myself, right? Yeah, my comics, like the time I take to make my comics is my time. Like it's my personal time. It's the time that I need to recharge. And I don't really like watching television anymore. I don't really like sitting down and watching like movies necessarily. I do definitely enjoy movies. Obviously I used to work in entertainment for years, but it's a lot harder for me to watch trash television now. Like my partner loves watching, not necessarily reality TV at all, but like she loves watching just horror movies and things on Netflix. And there's just, I just don't have the patience for it anymore. Maybe I'll catch a good A24 film or something like that, but I'm not inclined to really do that because I'm so oversaturated with stuff from you guys, but also from just the industry in general. Like the whole AI stuff is just so fascinating that we're able to make stuff ourselves now, that we don't need to rely on Netflix or Disney or any of these big companies to make our entertainment anymore. So for a creative person like myself that has a long history working in entertainment, this is like insane for me. Just the night and day difference in terms of my day-to-day actions are ridiculous now. Just the comparison between what my life was like before, where I was constantly, I remember reading Variety magazine and like trying to stay up to date with all the stuff that was happening in entertainment. Like if a new movie was in production, I knew about it 2.5 years before anyone else did, because I read a little snippet about how Variety was talking about it. Things like that. I don't care anymore. I just don't. I haven't kept up with anything happening with corporate media in years because of AI. And I've been loving it. I've been loving the escape from all of it. So my Celeste says, my downtime, quote unquote, these days is usually me pottering about in the garden or making things. I enjoy films and whatnot, but I'm going into a research phase at the moment, and that is helping me pad out my new character. Right. Yeah, especially when it comes to like consuming media that's like relevant to what you're working on. That is a lot more fulfilling to me than just like, okay, I'm just doing something to waste time. Yeah, I can't waste time anymore. Right. I'm in Ancient's boat here. Downtime. I have no idea what downtime is. I stay productive, but it's like, do I do me time sort of productive where I'm in my zone and just doing things? Or am I in a social space and I want to bring in a bunch of people and I want to like, collaborate? That it's a little less often than I want it to be, but it is certainly true that I don't necessarily have just straight downtime. I did buy Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm definitely not like, I thought I would have time for that game. No, I don't have time for that game. It's a big commitment. What is it, like 70 hours? But that's only like on the surface. Anyway, I don't have time for Baldur's Gate, so like I'll maybe play an hour or two a week of it. But that's the most downtime I have nowadays.
I've played partway through Act 1 of it.
Yeah, and it's like, wait, this is only Act 1. Yeah, it's a huge game. It's an insanely big game. But yeah, oh my god, this is Kinky. This is really cursed, by the way. This kind of
What?
scrunched Patrick Kinky walking with no arms, like it's that is really cursed. I'm just saying it's cursed.
Maybe. Are you jealous it's not you?
I'm just gonna keep my hands deep down my skirt. Yeah, there you go. I love all the gender bent like characters that we're familiar with here, especially with mine. Like anytime I see like a female Victor and stuff, we just kind of go by the name Vicky for it. Vicky is also a character in my Sage comics, and that is just a byproduct of going, hey, I want to see what a female version of my character looks like, and then we found it, and we were like, oh my god, this is amazing, and I've been leaning on that character since then. So, these '90s anime screen caps, like that prompt is just so powerful. So I'm gonna take us back a little bit to when I was working on something called Movie Machine, which was my tutorial that kind of got me started here. When I was working on that, I had a Reddit subreddit for it, and you could still go to it. It's r-movie machine, but the whole goal of it was to make fake movies. Right? It was like, okay, we're going to use specifically one prompt to make whatever fake movie we want. And this was back during version 4 of Midjourney. We're on version 6.1 now. But it was just screen cap. If you just included the word screen cap inside of your prompt, you would most likely, and especially if you used an aspect ratio that matched the television that was popular at the time, you were going to make fake movies with it. Okay. So, like, for example, if I write /imagine, let's do 80s, not anime. We're going to do 80s action schlock film. Okay, we're going to do screen cap of 80s action schlock film. And then aspect ratio 4:3. The aspect ratio is pretty important in my opinion. But we're just going to hit enter on that. And we'll see what sort of 80s action schlock film we can make out of those. We could always reference an 80s action schlock film. I referenced something called Chrome Lords at the start of that. But look at this. We get what we want. We get what we asked for. Okay. It is a little higher definition than what you would imagine in 80s. This looks like it's been remastered and cleaned up, right? So let's actually grab a film that makes sense for this. So let's do 80s action film. We'll do B movie, 80s action B movie, and then we'll get a screen cap of that directly. So let's do this one here. You could see that the aesthetic of it matches what we expect a 80s, like, film to kind of look like. It has that film grain. It has not film grain, video grain to it. So let's hit reroll on this now, and we're going to write --sref and then include that link of that screen cap to an existing film. Because we're not using Niji for this, we're using base Midjourney with version 6.1 is far more likely to create realism and encourage that realism. And especially when it comes to the world and the environment, it's just a lot more cohesive and understanding of the real world. So as much as I'm excited for Niji 7 whenever that comes out, I'm super stoked to be able to do mixed media with version 6.1 now. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is actually what I was talking about here. Let's look at the second one here. Okay, so yes, okay. So all these kind of exemplify what I was talking about, where we get a little bit of that sort of desaturated look. But this looks so much more like an 80s film to me than the results we had before, right? Where they were almost like Terminator-esque, where it's like that was an 80s film, but it's been remastered and fixed up so many times now that it barely looks like what it used to. There's actually a lot of controversy about the Alien remasters. Like, they never get them right. They never get the Aliens movie, the sequel. They never get the remaster right because it loses the film grain. And when they try to like use the AI upscalers and all that stuff, it ends up really butchering things. Like, you end up getting really murky, weird looking faces. And there's a whole YouTube series that just breaks down how bad the remasters for the Alien movies are. So if you can get a hold of the original DVD or the or a VHS tape of the Alien movies, you'll actually appreciate it more. I promise you. Especially if you know what you're looking for. Yeah, for sure. Let's take a look at now that we've kind of explored the screen cap prompt a little bit. You can actually take that and because we did 90s anime screen cap, we did 80s action schlock. If you guys have any other suggestions, feel free to make them inside of VC text here. So right above the stage, we have VC text and VC create. Anything you guys type here will end up on my streams that I post to YouTube. So if you do want to catch up here, or you want to watch anything that we've made before, just search for Victor Gnarly on YouTube, and you'll get a link to the YouTube channel. And it's occasionally posted here as well. But you'll be able to see your comments, see your your suggestions and stuff show up there. And we also, just to kind of scroll back through the text here really quick, it is certainly funny that if we wanted to, like especially with all the SpongeBob prompts we were doing earlier, it's really funny to actually reference SpongeBob. But I want to hear from you guys inside of VC Text any suggestions that you would have for like a genre of movie or film or anything like that. If you have something that you want me to explore particularly, we can do that. We can use a actor as a character reference for it. So if you want to see like, I don't know, let's do like Michael Cera. So like we could take like Michael Cera here. Okay. Copy image result here. And I'm going to do let's do a 60s a psychedelic. I spelled that wrong, but psychedelic film, and then CRF, and then paste Michael Cera's link there. I'm going to make sure I spell psychedelic correctly. Okay, copy that real quick. Psychedelic film. 1960s psychedelic film. Start a steampunk Star Trek. Ooh, we should try that. 60s psychedelic steampunk Star Trek. Let's do that. That's from Fractal Bob here. Steampunk Star Trek. Featuring Michael Cera. AR, let's do 4-3. We'll match the era a little bit here. Oh, we forgot screen cap. Darn it. Psychedelic film screen cap. And then I'll hit enter for that. Okay, hold on a second. Just look at how derpy Michael Cera looks in the Star Trek outfit here on the top left. That's really funny. We might want to lower the character weight on this. We'll have to see. Okay. The thing is that especially when it comes to taking actors' faces and stuff like that, there's going to be a little bit of like wiggle room that CRF has for that. So I wouldn't really be too strict on that. But let's go ahead and let's get rid of Michael Cera for this one here. Let's do Bert's suggestion of classic 007 character with Henry Cavill. Let's do the steampunk one, but without Michael Cera here for a second. Okay, it's 1960s psychedelic film screen cap, steampunk Star Trek, and then I'm just gonna hit enter on that. We're just gonna get rid of Michael Cera and just see what we get. I troll for you, putting Vilmer in the Star Trek outfit. That's hilarious. Okay, there we go. We got 1960s psychedelic film screen cap, and then steampunk Star Trek. There you go. Look at that. That's pretty damn accurate. We got Spock in there on 3 out of the 4 results. Oh, it's kind of a Spock Kirk on the second result there, but that's what it is. I mean, that's certainly what it is. That is awesome. So if we can, let's do. You guys should just go ham with this, especially with the screen cap stuff, because it's just really neat what you can do. I mean, the anime, anything that's kind of 80s or 90s anime, I love that look. I love that aesthetic, especially with the characters that you guys have come up with. Just being able to say, hey, I want to see that character, but in that genre. So like, let's say like Rhapsody's character here. Let's do a 90s anime screen cap. And we have already a low character weight, but I am going to get rid of the personalization code. I think it's your Potion Girl Rhapsody. And I'm going to do, let's just get a generic screen cap and let's see what we get off of that. We could even say, oh no, it's Nixie Rain. I thought it was yours, Rhapsody. My bad. Nixie's character here. It's very similar aesthetics to your Potion Girl Rhapsody. My fault. But I did get rid of your personalization code because I wanted to. Roxy is cool. Roxy is awesome. I love Roxy's character. But I wanted to show you guys if we remove the personalization code, we get a much more diversity when it comes to the actual like quality of the result. But this is not very 90s now. Like this is very much like a modern anime aesthetic, right? But now let's try to re-roll that, but let's get rid of Niji 6 because that is actually what's doing it. So if we just do 90s anime screen cap, Midjourney will look at a much wider range of reference material by not relying on Niji for doing specifically this kind of restoring old footage, aesthetic. So let's take a look at the character originally. Cool. So we have a blonde-haired, golden-eyed girl with flowers in her hair and her hat. So let's bring up the character weight. Let's bring that up to 60. See if we can get something a little more in character. Yes, Kinky, bring in all the characters to be in the band together. That'd be awesome. I'm
trying.
It's hard to get the proportions right of multiple characters. That is definitely something that I would love to somehow figure out how that's possible. Like, basically say like, all right, I want the character to take up a third of the image or 2/3 or whatever. That can be a hard thing to do without compartmentalizing the character heavily.
I'm having a hard time getting anything after I do one successful vary region.
Right. It really takes over describing the number of people, I think. That may help. Oh. But yeah, like this Victor from Metal Girl Solid. That's hilarious. It's awesome. But yes, okay, so here's the flower girl here, and you can notice that we started to get more of that 90s anime screen cap aesthetic. So I think that first one is pretty good. We're not really, because the character weight is so low, we're not really getting a ton of that character specifically. We're going to have to like prompt specific things like golden eyes and hair or flowers in her hair, like that kind of thing. But now let's try 80s anime screen cap. and 70s anime screen cap, which is more like Lupin the Third and all that kind of stuff. So let's see what we get off of that. Wow. Going past a low quality recovered 80s action film screen cap. That's rough. Like that looks cool, but man, does it look rough. Let's see what we get here. Okay, so for 80s anime screen cap, that is already like a bit closer. It's still a little bit overproduced. And you notice with 70s as well, we're still getting a little bit of that overproduction. That's just the product of having anime inside of your prompts. But anime screen cap, ooh, this is from RRR with her African American character. It looks great. That one looks so good. We did have a channel on our Discord called Black Tokyo, which was dedicated to making like African American or Black versions of like popular media, right? Particularly of Japanese media. And it was just really cool to see the juxtaposition of that. And that was submitted by one of our early users on the subreddit. So it's kind of long gone now. You're going to have to actually search for it on what is it on the subreddit to find it. But it is neat to see. With a very low character weight, setting it to 10 on 70 screen cap, we suddenly get something that looks a lot like it to me. Especially that top right one looks a lot like some of the animations that were there. But oh no, it's more Michael Cera's. Oh no. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, and Really Smart's been working on 1950s film noir screen cap Paranormal Activity. Ooh, Paranormal Activity will definitely get you like a whole stage room. Like it's a pretty interesting prompt actually. But let's go ahead and grab like, let's do a 80s anime screen cap. Let's see what Google gives us. In fact, I'm not going to just blindly look at Google for a second. I am going to zoom in on myself here and then look at that myself, just because we might get into some risque material if I just scroll down here. So let's see. I am going to okay. This one should work well for Sage. So I'm going to copy list. It's a. Okay, okay, I gotta say this really quick. I was gonna reference this, right? But it's actually a Midjourney tutorial. Okay, hold on. I gotta look at this for you guys. I was like, oh, this would look great for Sage, right? You know, it's an office worker, blonde, all that stuff. But look at the link. 100 of the best Niji V5 prompts, Midjourney anime, and it's literally just a Midjourney deep dive. That is hilarious to me. Like, yeah, like we're not getting it. This is let me I'll just link it. This is from aituts.com tutorials. And so I don't know how this website seems trusted enough. I'm going to scroll all the way down to make sure there's no kind of spammy links on it, but nope, it's just a straight up the guide to V5 Midjourney. Oh, sorry, Niji prompts. Yeah, this one's V5. I'll just link it here so you guys have it. But it's a V5 guide.
It's funny.
All right, so I'm going to find one that isn't a Midjourney image really quick. I definitely want to find one that is more okay. That you know what? Actually, I just realized what would work here. So if I search for vintage, like if we do a prompt for vintage anime instead of a specific era. So let's do vintage anime screen cap. It makes me feel so old calling this vintage, but it is true. It is sadly true that we're going to have to.
I like 80s.
Yeah.
It gives you like the bangs and stuff like that.
Right.
And sparkly.
wait, who did C-Lab 2021? Zumster. Okay, Zumster. Yes, I want to see C-Lab 2021 come back. I would love to see that show, but like the guy who voices the old man in it is sadly passed away. So we probably will never see C-Lab 2021 come back the way that it was. But I am a fan of that show though. It is such a fun remix of it all. if you're not familiar, there used to be a show called C Lab 2020, and they Adult Swim did a redub of it where they just recut it and reanimated it in all sorts of funny ways and called it C Lab 2021. And there's just some amazing bits. I remember the vending machine falling on the man and going like, it's just, he ends up being like a mothering nest for a spider and its babies and stuff underneath the vending machine. And it's just some of the funniest animation that I'd seen when I was growing up, or not growing up, but when I was a late teen. So I really love that. Yeah, Pinchy the Scorpion. Yes, Pinchy the Scorpion. That's it. That was Enid who reminded me of that. And then Bert was like, mustache on or off? And then too bad. Yes, all those bits were so friggin' funny. The Bizarro episode drove my partner nuts. Whenever that episode came up on television, it was like, she was like, we cannot watch this episode. Like, please, can we just change it? Please. I hate that little bird thing going Bizarro for like the entire 15 minutes. It's awful. The time travel episode, also amazing. I love that episode. Okay. All right. I can stop gushing about old Adult Swim here for a bit.
Frank, you need to see very, very soon.
Yes, I do need to rewatch it though.
No. There's something on the screen that NBC creates that I want you to see.
Is it this?
Is it
Michael Cera anime thing?
No, keep scrolling.
Okay.
I tagged you in it, actually.
Okay. Let's see. I see the tag here. It links. It brings me to this.
That's not what I wanted to tag you in. Hold on.
Okay. I see also Fungi Mancer's Crystal, like Crystal Cove guy. I love this character.
It's definitely a Michael Cera. Hold on.
Yeah, this one here. Oh, that's what Hilgarn's working on.
Goodness doing.
Okay.
But it's like, like anime film screen cap.
Yes, of it with the Michael Cera.
That's amazing. Look at it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's so weird. I love how
Look at his little chin.
Yes, it's so goofy looking at these results, especially when you try to make actors and as anime things. Like someone mentioned John Hamm here, so let's do Archer really quick because he says John Hamm did a take on Frank in Archer. Okay, that's I want to see that. By the way, I have to do that research to see. But if I now grab a screenshot of Archer TV show. Go to images here. Archer was actually one of those shows I did not like at first because I knew their previous show, Frisky Dingo, and I hated Frisky Dingo. I hated Frisky Dingo so much. I thought that show was awful. And let me tell you an embarrassing story about why you should never criticize television when working in Hollywood. Okay. Never do this. Never be honest. Never like I want to say always be an honest person, right? But in Hollywood, that can get you in trouble. Okay. What happened with me was I was on my second year working at Robot Chicken, and I got an invite from one of the other visual effects artists to a premiere party. Okay. And that premiere party, was for Archer. Okay. And so the thing is that they already did their own private screening party with the production, like a red carpet kind of thing for it, that I was not a part of. But when it actually aired on television, everyone kind of did it at their homes. Like they just watched it. So I was invited to somebody's home to watch the premiere of Archer over mojitos or whatever. And so the thing is, I was just invited to come hang out. I wasn't told that this was going to be some premiere or whatever. So I come in there and I'm hanging out. I've talked with these people for about 45 minutes. I'm getting to know them. I do not know who they are. I only know one person that's there out of maybe 4 or 5 people that are in this house. And we start to sit down and watch it. And I go, so what are we watching today? And they go, oh, we're watching Archer. It's going to be the first episode. It's premiering in about like 3 minutes. I'm like, cool. Oh, who made it? And they're like, that's the same guys behind Frisky Dingo. And I turned, and my gut instinct was to be honest, and I was like, oh man, I hate that show. I'm not a big fan. And the room went quiet. Okay. It went quiet. Everyone was there. Like there was like I said, it was only 4 or 5 people, a pretty intimate space. It went quiet. And my friend, the guy that I worked with at Robot, leaned in and goes, all these people worked on Frisky Dingo. And I was mortified, absolutely mortified, because I did not know I was in the room. I did not know where I was. It was awful. I felt like I was a monster, and so I immediately started apologizing like a ton. I was just brutally honest with people that I shouldn't have been. And forgetting where I was, forgetting that I was working in entertainment, where it's a very small town at the end of the day. You shouldn't be critical of shows with it like that necessarily. So I was like, I am so sorry. I'll leave. I feel bad. And they're like, no, please don't. No. It's fine. You're allowed to not like the thing we worked on. It's all good. And then we watched the first episode of Archer. And it's fucking amazing. You know what I mean? So like, I really didn't like Frisky Dingo. There was so many bad aspects to that show that it just bothered the crap out of me. And I had to be honest about it in that moment. So that's my embarrassing story for you guys. It was really embarrassing because the silence, the deafening silence after that was just, that was hard. Okay, let me grab what I was originally going to do. The visual similarity is actually what turned me off to Archer first, right? That's what I was. That's actually like, because they were like the previews were coming up, and it was like, look, it's Archer, and I was just like, oh man, I don't like how flat and like low effort this feels. But it was immediately like a higher quality like shot, like everything looked better than Frisky Dingo did, but it had the same animation style. It had the same sort of cookie cutter. Everything is these little like almost like pre-VTuber sort of shapes, right? So I was really thrown off by Archer at first. But let me. It was the acting though. It was the acting in Archer that sold it for me. It's so funny. But if say like just to kind of bring this whole story to a head though, right? The Archer producer overheard us talking about how bad it was once. She tried to explain why. Yeah. Let's see here. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to use because I remember I grabbed a screenshot of something here. I forgot what I was even doing because of that story. Sorry guys. Let me see what my link was that I posted here. Yes, to Archer. That's right. So if we wanted to say, here's a 90s screen, and let's do Archer. Let's try to do a more modern animated thing. So let's say, let's do C-Lab 2021, but Archer. Yeah. So let's do a style reference of a animated Fox TV show. No, there'll just be a literal Fox if I do that. Animated modern TV series, then style reference, paste Archer into there, get rid of the sizing remix.jpg here, and then let's do AR 16:9, and we'll see what that does. That you guys are really freaking me out with these Michael Cera Spocks, by the way. The idea of Michael Cera being casted as Spock is awful. That is an awful idea for me. Is that Asuka? Nice. Using her as a character reference, I imagine. Yes. Okay. It's amazing how well that works, right? Just instantly doing that. Ooh. I like the postmodern stuff. Really smart. All right. I'm going to read some of you guys' comments here. The Enid said, LA is a very small town in certain regards. Yes, it is certainly. It is certainly a small town. There's a reason why everybody who works in the agency side of anything that's involving finding actors or finding talent, it's incredibly hard to get an honest perspective from those people because it's their job to make sure that they're on your side all the time. Like they need you. They have no idea who the next big star is, so they need to be a buddy with everybody. They need to say that you're great almost every time. Getting an honest opinion out of those people is extremely hard. So it really just comes down to when you do find that kind of person, then you do find those people that are actually willing to just be straight and real with you. You want to hold on to them because they're the ones that aren't going to like kiss your ass and tell you the truth when something's bad, because you need to hear that truth sometimes. It's just, I haven't been in Hollywood in years. So let's see, animated TV series with Archer as the style reference. Look, that looks like freaking Archer, right? Like it has the exact same sort of like kind of stilted character styles, right? But they are, it still has all that over rendered depth that's inside of Archer as well. So, I love using style reference to just bypass having to write all these things related to prompts, you know, like these long, lengthy prompts. We can get rid of most of it just by knowing what's inside the visual medium itself. Okay. Now, the style of reference is of multiple people standing near a couch, and you're just going to get very similar imagery doing that without prompting heavily in another direction or using negative prompts. But that's going to get you a lot. Finding the right style reference. Let's see here. Bakuro Banzai 1980s music video. Ooh, this guy's reminding me of Adam Ant right now. Let's see. Yes, you finally got the three of them in there. That's awesome. They got Ancient in there in the back corner too. That's great, Kinky. I really like this.
Thank you.
This one's fun.
Still going.
Let's see here. Bert said, I never finished Archer. Did it ever leave the weird dream sequence seasons later on? The first season they did that and I lost interest. The show goes in all sorts of directions, man. I remember one where they went into space and that was pretty funny. So like I recommend Archer. It's a good show. But it is one of those where I'm like, kind of like Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like I watched the first season, I loved it, and then as it kept going, it just kind of started blurring, and I started losing track of what was happening in the show like that. Yeah, weird hill parties are the best. They are. They're so weird. Like especially when you're just not knowing who anybody is. Like I was completely green at the time. Yeah, hilarious time. It's funny that you know about that, Enid. Let's see here. The visual simulator is actually, yeah. Okay, cool. We're caught up now.
I was just thinking about whether Westendorf needed word neighbors because Westendorf is like LA guy. And then they just talked about it.
Right. Yeah. When it comes to LA is certainly a small town. Like it feels really big, especially when you talk about the greater Los Angeles area. But the TMZ is it's a region. It's kind of a locked in area. Like you're inevitably going to know people who worked on similar things as you did and whatnot. The stop motion industry is so freaking small now. When I was working in entertainment, it was small. It is even smaller now. So you're probably going to run into a lot of the people who I used to work with, just by working specifically in stop motion for a couple of years. So let's see here. They can be interesting too. Okay, they got deleted. We'll ignore that. Let's see here. Let's see what some of the results that you guys have been making here. Zoom. By the way, yes, I highly recommend that if there's any sort of if anything that you don't want to share, like don't do it. Like especially when it comes to like private stories and whatnot. Like I won't tell you guys any of the conversations that I had with Charlie or anything like that, or Dino or any of these people, just because like that's not cool to do. But I will say I've been there. That's as far as I'm willing to go. So let's see here. It's just this more Asuka, but with lower character weights. Yes. Who said something about agoraphobia? Yes, agoraphobically in Los Feliz, weird Hollywood parties. Yeah. Some people just stick to their towns. You know, I was in Burbank. Burbank was my hangout. the Starburn Studios I'm not sure if they're still in Burbank, but I loved working in Burbank. It was like the quiet, greener version of Los Angeles. I liked it. Before then, I was in Culver City, which is kind of like a kind of a touristy, close to Santa Monica area. I wouldn't. It's too expensive. Both of them are too expensive, but Burbank's a little cheaper. Kind of like Thousand Oaks and stuff. My wife worked with some unfortunate people that I won't mention inside in Thousand Oaks in his house, and I just it's Hollywood is all sorts of types, and it's something I really recommend doing your research of the people you work with, man. Like, it's one thing when they work for a studio and you can have like an official workplace, but when it comes to people inviting you to work inside of a house, you should be very cautious. Be very, very cautious of that. And this person had a really recognized name. Like very, very popular name. You all would know who they are, but never work with them. Like, I'm not going to say anything.
Everyone's secretly wondering if it's Diddy right now.
No, it's not. It's not Diddy. No. Diddy would be up in the Hollywood Hills, but like, no. This is an animation, big animation guy, and just monster of a person. You have to be very careful with the people you work with, and like, because it's not just that one project that you got time on or whatever. It's more importantly like your future, your resume, everything that's attached to that. Like, yeah, I just, you gotta be aware that sometimes there's people who have stigmas that have like history in entertainment that you have no idea about. But as soon as you learn about it, you pull out, move on, go to the next thing, try to find other jobs or whatever. There's a reason why you can actually get canceled in Hollywood. While when people say you get canceled on the internet, it's not really real. Like, it really isn't. Like, you just take a break for 6 months and then you come back and you're like, oh, now you're even more popular than you were before. So yeah, it's a little bit of a different story when you talk about a town as small as Hollywood. So, all right, I got to move on from this topic. So let's take a look at what we got going on here. Is this 70s animation screen grab? Oh, okay, yes, in the style of C-Lab 2021. Nice. That does look a lot like C-Lab. That's perfect. So like, if we did Victor in this, which by the way, I have Victor saved in here, so I'm going to do /imagine. And I'm just going to hyphen Victor real quick. Grab those links. And if you ever want to just pull up your list, by the way, you can hit /prefer and then go to option list and hit enter. And that's going to give you a text document that you can then expand or download. And that will give you all the links. Look at all the characters and stuff that you guys have saved through my account. It's ridiculous how big this is. But if we now take this, and I have my links for Victor in here, I'm going to do -cref and then Victor.
You actually don't have to do all of that when you're doing it like that.
Oh, yeah?
It will still like the shortened version.
Oh, really? So if I do the reroll here, let's try that. So what's currently broken then?
The broken one is when you're in painting.
Oh, when I'm in painting. Okay. That's good. The C-Lab 2021 animation with Victor is awesome. It's certainly Victor. That's awesome. If we kind of bring down the character weight a little bit, so let's do CW 40. Probably get it even more. Is this Lolo soon? Hey, it's good to see you, bud. It's good to see you here making more stuff with Chibi here. Yes, I know your character by heart. Hey, just tuned in. Yeah. Awesome. Good to see you, man. Yes, Ancient's character here as well in C-Lab 2021. Let's see, where was the result that I had earlier? Is it still processing? I think so. Oh, here it is. Okay. So you can see when I drop the character weight, suddenly it looks a lot more like something that would probably be in C-Lab. Now, granted, it still has plenty of anime influence in there, but at least now, like, you can definitely throw him into like the suit, like him with the suit on here. I love this, by the way, Ancient. Like, wait, there's a dude with a globe for the moon for a head in the background? Hold on a second. Look at that. Look at the moon. He has a moon head. That could be funny to expand on, actually. So I'm going to zoom out by 1.5. We'll see what we get. All right. Enid says here, Los Feliz neighborhood, Los Feliz Street, aka Little Armenia, Franklin Hills, Griffith Park. I'm in the cheap seats. Yeah. I love going to Griffith Park. For the people who don't know, if you remember the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the entrance to Toontown is the entrance to the Griffith Observatory. So if you want to like get your own little movie nostalgia moment to like, you know, take a photo outside the tunnel or whatever, take it and be like, I'm going to Toontown. And then there you got it. That's the easiest screen, like the easiest kind of like movie recreation you can do. I'm not sure if you're allowed to park outside the tunnel. I don't think so. If you do, you're probably going to get in trouble, but you can get your screen. You can get your little shop there. Yeah, when I was a former horse rancher, so yeah, it's certainly true that it's when it comes to some of like old LA, like old LA, when it was originally designed for like 1/100th of the number of cars that travel down that highway, it must have been so much fun to treat the entire city of Los Angeles as a giant racetrack, you know, going 40 miles an hour. But yeah, ooh. Let's see here. I know I zoomed out. I love where you're going with this, by the way, Kinky. Like this whole glam band zoom out is just awesome. Loving all the big hair. Gotta love the big 80s hair.
It's trying to like blow off the screen to give me a hint to stop, but I'm not stopping.
You could probably figure out creative ways to show people in there that weren't in there before. Like if I did like spontaneous levitation behind one of the characters, you could definitely get them floating up in the air. Let's see here. I just up-res the guy with the moon head. There we go. So, we had one with Victor earlier, so I'll try this here. Replace the character reference with Victor, and then I'm just going to highlight this, the jacket head here. And let's shrink that down a little bit. It'll be too big of a head if we inpay much bigger than that. Then hit submit. Big hair is my jam. Yeah. I love some big hair. 1980s Transformers screen cap. Yeah. The thing is that you're also going to get like electrical transformers mixed in this with some technological like muckiness that you get with that one. I would definitely lean more towards the style reference for that. 70s screen cap, John Hamm as a secret agent, and then just a bunch of black and white. Interesting. I look like the Emperor from Warhammer 40K sitting in that throne on the third one. Let's see here. Oh, the screen cap. This is of what Stopmo is this? Okay, this is the character reference. So this is just claymation film. It reminds me of not Akira. There's a stop motion company, Akona, or it doesn't matter. It looks like a very specific style of Stopmo from a specific company. But I want to grab Victor here. So I'm going to go with the third one here. So we have Ancient, myself, and the Moon as three characters here. Just the idea of just making these mock-up 80s and 90s shows is too funny here. Celeste says, getting late here and I need to get some sleep before tomorrow, so I'll have to so I'll have to love and leave y'all. Thanks, Victor, for today's event. I've been prompting away to test out some things today on my personal server for my new character. I'm excited to see it. Hey, Celeste, I want to see more of your stuff. And you have a good one. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks, boss.
Yeah, good night. And in fact, what is it? We are a couple minutes out. Like I'm going to be closing the stream out here at 7. So we have about another 40 minutes of the stream here on Midjourney, and then we'll be doing the after party over on my server. So if you guys want to share your own projects and your own things that you're doing, it'll be at 7 o'clock. So the show after the show. Yeah, thank you, Rhapsody. And we'll be able to collab and check out all the cool stuff that you guys have been doing. Well, she has a name now. I'll share the next Friday. Awesome. Yeah, I definitely want to see that next Friday. We'll be doing Snoopy stuff, so I'll be curious to see it. Thanks for the link to the server at Kinky, and feel free to join inside of VC Text. Alrighty. So I'm going to sip on my smoothie a bit here. And kind of scroll back on what everyone else has been doing here. We've been going hard on these TV show ideas, guys. I really like this. I think it's quite funny. I want to do more claymation. I think I definitely want to lean towards some of this claymation stuff that Really Smart's been doing. So maybe we'll even use this as a style reference. So like if I come into here and grab this result. And let's just do Victor here. Claymation film. And then cref Victor, or just, sorry, the style reference there. And then hyphen cref Victor. And AR 16:9. And so I know that you guys will use prompts like award-winning and other things like that to kind of boost the quality of it. But I'm just going to go with this with a style reference instead. And let's see what random claymation films and Victor it makes. I'll be right back.
So, how many of you are going to be over there at the show after the show? I might stop by. Busy month here on the Midjourney server for events. I hope you guys take a look at the event calendar and come on by to those things. We have a new calendar that both Clarinet and I are able to post on, and that's Rhapsody gonna be there. It's your whole thing. It's Lou.ma/Midjourney. If you go to that, I gotta get it as a link, but if you go to Lou.ma/Midjourney, there's a whole event calendar that you guys can follow and subscribe to and get reminded of events. It's gonna be great. Just hope some people subscribe to it because it's really going to be the best way for us to get information out to you guys for a while. Or not for a while, but it's really the best way because, you know, the Discord notifications kind of aren't incredibly reliable. I'm going to put an extra hyphen or a colon. There we go. Third time's the charm. So if you click this link, it'll take you to the Midjourney event calendar. Victor's on it. And I think you will find there says the R and E. Oh, but it's working now, right? I just clicked it and it worked. Oh, yeah, Midjourney. Oh, you fixed it for me. Thank you. You know, when you're leaning on one elbow and laying on your stomach, it's not always super easy to type out proper URL. One-handed typing. It's definitely not closed. Why is it live? Shouldn't be. Don't listen to it. It's a liar. But I'll fix it. Don't listen to that calendar that I just told you to rely on. Yeah. I'll go ahead and check that out and see why it's doing that. I hope everything's okay. Is it now time to show time? Well, I think that's supposed to be on Wednesdays. Maybe I didn't set an end time and it was supposed to, and it just kept going. Oh. I'm still learning how to calendar. It's a new thing.
Sorry about that.
You better be. I'm just kidding. Play it with you. You all right? Everything good?
Yeah. My doorbell went off, and I had to go check on it. And the the UPS truck was like, "So I have like 8 packages for you. Do you mind helping me pull it out of the truck?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I gotta be quick though." So I had to run over to a truck real quick. Sorry about that. My wife bought like handful of furniture on Amazon. So, okay, let's see here. I got a new shoe rack.
Glad it showed up. A new shoe rack.
Yeah. No, she was like, yeah, furniture, right? Yeah. Amazon furniture rules. Yeah. How big were the boxes? Oh, they were big. They required 2 people to haul out without breaking the guy's back. So, I definitely was glad that I was able to help him, but yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, I can do it. Yeah. What does this mean running with the chubby dog? Man chasing a dog, chubby 3D clay animation. That's fun. It's like a pug on that first one. It's cute. Ooh. It's almost like these like blaxploitation Barbie dolls. That's pretty cool. Hey, look, there I am. I'm just hanging out with the girls. There is a comedian, I'm forgetting his name right now, who was just describing how he was like, how he always finds himself on the outer circle of a bunch of girl only parties, like girl only hangouts and stuff. And he's like, I'm just the donkey on the beside all the horses he's just hanging out, staring in. And I just could not stop laughing at that visual of just, anyway, I have to find out. I forgot who that is though. My wife loves him, and I'm totally blanking on the name. Okay, let's check out some of these stop motion stuff that you guys have been working on. The Star Trek one's pretty cool. So, like, I wonder if you run this through, like, what is it called, Helio, the one of the new AI video services I've been seeing iTroll for you and whatnot messing with. If you run some of these Stopmo ones through there, it'll look great. It'll run amazing on some of these videos. 2D animation doesn't have, has a lot less rules, so it can kind of screw things up in a weird way. But stop motion does a really good job because it's a puppet, so it has rules. It has elbows and joints that can only move in so many ways, that when it looks wrong, it's easy to just throw that away. So with animation, especially anime or anything like that, you're going to see a lot more diversity of the results to the point where it just doesn't, it's a lot harder to hone in exactly what you want. But I am liking this, this is the kind of Superman looking character. Oh, that's a nice CRF. That's a fun result. On Minimax. Okay. For the past few days while it's free. Yeah, definitely. Minimax has been giving some really fun results. Gotcha Man screen cap. Interesting. I have to look up Gotcha Man. Probably an anime. I'll see. I'll get you the moon. Ooh, that's cute. Whoa. Yeah, whatever you're doing here with the black and white stuff, Fractal Bob, is really neat. Yeah, the low stylization stuff is real neat. Okay, So this is the claymation film at Victor. And you can see that what it's doing is it's trying to conform some aspects of it to have some of the material properties of claymation, right? But if I run a lower character weight on this, so let's do CW40, we're going to see even more of the puppeting effect kind of taking hold here. And that's pretty important when you start to talk about like, I need things to always look a certain way. You do not want things to look like they're made. Like if you're doing claymation, you want to see fingerprints on the models, like as if they were sculpted by hand. That's going to give you the best results when it comes to trying to animate those. 90% of the time. Let's see what you did here, Enid. They look so good. It still bothers me, the transitions, right? But it does look so good. Like the Minimax stuff is just ridiculous in terms of its quality. I fully agree with you. But it is kind of weird how it doesn't really respect the hand or the elbow here. The fact that the video controls and the frame rate changes is the thing that bothers me from a technical aspect. But it is amazing, just amazing results that you're getting off of that. I just want to be able to render like a full minute, have it take forever to render that minute, and then be like, no, it's wrong. But at least I could take chunks of it and re-edit it in an interesting way. So you can see here with the lower character weight. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I have both Minimax and Clay and a couple of others. And Minimax is by far going to have the best value if you get an unlimited membership. Just throwing that out there.
I'm really curious to try that.
If anyone's interested in like an unlimited membership, it's $100 a month, but like you get unlimited, and Minimax is like the current best one that I would go to.
Right.
I also have an unlimited membership for Pika, but I'm like, in Pika back in V1.5, honestly, better than the 2, and then I have it unlimited for that, and I love it too.
Yeah, they have their strengths. Some of them are more stronger with other things. All right, but Minimax has been amazing at just whatever I throw at it, for seemingly, or at least whatever I see you guys throwing at it.
Pika's great for options. They have like the video and painting. They have styles and sound effects, and I mean, like nobody can beat that right now.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of value that comes out of Pika in its own regard. But in terms of like getting stuff that like I feel like I can just instantly put into an editor and start animating with it, like Minimax is easily the king of that. So let's take some of these like Stopmo scenes that we have here, like this one with the bird, right? And we could try expanding on it. Nice. Zooming out whenever you have a character reference is definitely going to dominate that result. Let's see here. Looks like overproduced Scooby-Doo. Okay, so you could see that some of the kind of like we are drawing the aesthetic onto a rigid plastic puppet kind of thing. Not really stop motion. It's not really. But if we go ahead and hit /settings and we turn off remix mode, okay, and then re-roll this as a variation subtle, we will most likely get something that looks more like true stop motion. We'll just take a look. Like this looks so much better right off the bat. It looks like a mixture of paper craft and plastic and molded stuff. It's a little too 3D on the hair, but it's still far better than what we had before. I love the kind of Nightmare Before Christmas proportions, though. Anytime it's little stick figure-y looking guys with big heads, I love that look. But now let's zoom in on these here and see if there's any that kind of, I think the third one's the best. It still gives us that lined aesthetic, but the bird looks so much better. Is there anyone that doesn't do the line work much? Yeah, the second one. Let's do the second one really quick. Let's compare the two. Yeah, I'm going to say this is it. This one looks a lot better. May not look exactly like Victor, but it definitely has better rendering of the kind of like I've drawn on a clay or plastic puppet, right? Now let's try to expand the scene a little bit. So I could just hit make square, but I'm going to actually do a vertical. So we'll do a zoom of 1. And then let's do a 2-3. 2-3. Let's do 2-3 to get it like a poster. Claymation film poster. And then we'll say for an indie claymation film poster. There you go. And I'm going to get rid of the character reference because we already have the character in there. And we're going to need to get rid of the character weight by doing that as well. That's the number one thing it'll kind of yell at you for, is if you leave your character weight in there, but you don't have a character reference anymore. So we'll do that. Calvin and Hobbes, not Calvin and Hobbes, or maybe, but it's most likely the guy with the cheese in the moon. Yep, there you go. Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, so the poster's just about done here. So you can see that it sometimes it's perched on my hand here. Sometimes it's kind of to the side. I like the one with the log and the house in the background. So let's do that. Okay. And at this point, it's one of those where I would throw in an AI video and see these characters and how they would mess around and work with stuff and whatnot. It's it's certainly true that when it comes to when you have some sort of rigid medium or constraint, it's so much better. How do we save characters to use like Victor does? Says second serve of noodles. So that is done with /prefer. I'll show you how to do that really quick. We'll grab one of these characters here that we don't have yet. So let's do a cref here. I don't actually have this one saved. So let's actually get the name of this one. I forgot the name really quick. Let's go up to my server, go to the character portal. And I'm just going to scroll down until I see her. There we go. It is Madison Strange. So I'm just going to do Strange on that one. We're going to grab the link for that. Copy. And now, and you're still here, second server. So I'm glad you're still here to see this. But I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing a little better. We're going to hit /prefer. And you're going to see option set pop up on your list here. Go ahead and click that. And now we're going to write Strange, whatever you want to have your character saved as. And you keep in mind, it doesn't have to be one link. It could be multiple links, but you want to make sure that each link is separated and it has mj.run somewhere in it so that you're not having to worry about the link going down in the future or anything like that. We're going to hit plus more on that. And then that's going to bring up the value option. We're going to click value and then paste the link for the character in there. Okay. Once you hit enter, if you ever write /imagine and then -- strange, it will replace that with that link that's included in there. Just like I have for Victor, just like I have for any of the others here. Now, here's the really cool thing, second serve of noodles. This is something that I have not shown here yet. So this will be kind of fun for you guys to see for the first time. I actually have it saved to make an entire Sage comic prompt with a single saved parameter. Okay, so I have it saved as tumbling up, which is the name of the series. Tumbling _ up. If I hit enter to this, it autofills the entire prompt for a base of a Sage and Michael comic where you'll have two characters talking to each other in an office space. It's not perfect. It will certainly merge the characters a bit, but it is the easiest way to make a Sage and Michael setup. Because you can just then re-roll this result and change it. Look at this. We have Sage. I love the first Sage, by the way. The very first Sage is so goofy. And the second one's good too. Michael will almost always be in profile or like a slight 2/3, while Sage will be a lot more dynamic in these results. But the amazing thing here is that if we, and I want to make sure I have remix mode turned back on really quick. Settings, remix mode. So the amazing thing about this, though, is that we can now just simply hit reroll on this. And guess what? Because we have the style reference already saved, just including comic panels, we don't even need to write comic panels depicting two people. But we can say as long as it says two people or references two people, it'll work because of the character reference in there. But if we say comic panels depicting two people, let's see, like on a submarine, And then we want to negative prompt out anything that reminds us of an office space, because anything that's included in the character reference will try to replicate. So let's do - no, and then laptop and desk. So we can hopefully get just 2 people on a submarine. Because if we look at what the character reference actually is in here, there's a laptop, there's a desk, there's they're in the ties, all that sort of stuff. We're trying to get it to basically ignore the room and try to instead make the submarine. And it did. It looks like it worked great. Look at this. Now it kind of looks like on the third one, Michael is on that one, on the one, he's not a millionaire, he's or a billionaire at the bottom of the bottom of the ocean or anything like that. But it is certainly what we asked for. It is them on a submarine, on the water, because we negative prompted out desks and laptops, and it lets us just instantly be able to combine the characters. Why is there a gun popping out of my forehead? Why? Okay, I'll move on. But just this here, just them interacting in the water, amazing. And you would not have been able to do that very easily with just prompting for one character and then the other. But what I can do instead is I can now grab Michael. So I'll just prompt him really quick, - Michael. In fact, I actually have a better prompt for him. Let's cancel that one really quick. I don't know if this will work, but boop. So if I do Michael body. Okay, so actually I have the full parameter there, but it gave it as a cref. So let's just copy the links for that. And now if I find Michael in here, so let's do the fourth result here. And now I hit vary region. And we are going to replace the cref of this single image, which is the 2 characters together. We're going to paste Michael's links in here, use the lasso tool. And now I'm just going to select everything that's a little bit wrong about Michael. Michael has a little bit of pompish hair. He does not have the big eyes that Sage has, for example. So I'm just going to select his face. And there's a little bit of some wonkiness with his hand here. So I'm going to select that too. And let's do this here. And let's keep that. All right, let's just do that. And then we'll hit submit. And what this is essentially going to do is, if you like the expressions on the characters, just keep parts of those expressions. You don't need to have the whole thing represented here. But let's see, comic panels depicting 2 people. This is for my trophy with their own personalization code added in there. So if I added my personalization code, the backgrounds would disappear for the most part, and it would just be the characters, which could be very useful on its own. It's Luffy from One Piece. That's funny. Okay, so now look how much more this looks like Michael right off the bat. Just because I used his references, this fourth one here is pretty dead on to what Michael looks like. Okay. He has a little bit of spiky hair. His ears pop out a bit. He has his face is a little more rounded. These are all aspects though of what I would expect to have for Michael. And if I wanted to kind of fill in this top scene here, it's very easy. The only thing I got to do is just select this part here, make sure that I include as much of this body of Sage right on the bottom here, and we'll encompass the entire top panel here. And because the cref of Michael is inside of this prompt still, as soon as they submit that, it's going to prefer putting his body in there, going to be preferring him being in there. So that's the power of knowing whether or not when to use crefs, because it's going to be like a night and day difference between getting a control of because if you understand the order of this stuff, where cref is the most powerful out of them all, it'll over dominate everything from your results. Then next on down is style referencing, and then image prompting. And you can actually, with a single parameter, you can affect image prompting significantly, the IW parameter. But that's a whole other kit caboodle that focuses more on the composition as opposed to anything else. So if you're trying to remake a specific pose of a character, for example, you can use image prompting to do that. And we can go from there. But look at the result that we got. It's exactly what I was describing to you guys, where we got rid of the panel breaks because I kept the character reference in there. It was able to recreate the rest of Michael's suit because of that. And there you go. We have them on the water. You know, like you could easily do a joke that's like, you know, they went on a, you know, like a pier date or something like that, and then they fell in the water or something, and they're sloshing around in there, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, using a poser, like a 3D poser, great idea. Using image prompts for that's a great idea. You guys are, I actually am really curious what all your all's personalization codes look like when applied to the Sage comics. So you're welcome to do that, like Second Serve of Noodles has done here, where they used -P to pull up their personalization code and go from there. So like for mine, for example, I can just delete your code, and you have it set to a stylize of 1,000. So everything is going to be kind of at a max. You know, you're kind of maxing out the aesthetic side of this. So some of the character design will change a little bit. Like you can see here that Sage, her profile is a little wonky here. That's actually more from the stylization being so high up than it is from necessarily references. But you could see here that on my personalization code, suddenly most of the backgrounds are gone. They're just these kind of big open environments. You do have Michael walking in front of the street, but for the rest of it's almost non-existent when it comes to the backgrounds here. So I do like this, at least the first result here, because it lets us be able to see, you know, Sage like typing at the computer, right? Typing on our laptop. You could easily draw in the bottom of these panels. So I could see here, because the stylization is so high up, again, Sage's profile looks really weird to me on here. So if I had now vary region in here, I could easily just try it again with her. But because we have Michael already in my clipboard here, I'm just going to paste him really quick. And again, his face is not that wide. That's actually Sage's proportions that are being applied to Michael here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab all this. The hair is correct, except for it's black. It's probably seeing that in Sage's tie. So I'm just going to select the triangle, I mean, the question mark there, and we're going to submit Michael here. This change on Michael. It's actually very Sage. Like the nose is much more like Sage, but it's so on and so forth. You'll see these kind of character mergers where you're more aiming for the interactions, and there's a lot of romance that tends to happen inside of these multi-CRFs, but if you don't like the romance, easy. Just go back up, reroll, and go -, no romance, or romantic. You know, and or couples or partners or anything else that evokes them being romanticized. But there you go. There's Michael. There's Michael now. Much more reliably him. The only thing I did to do is put his little shave in his left eyebrow. Which I always do manually. It's kind of like my signature for the series. So you know whether or not I generated it or whether it's been manually edited, is that Michael has a bibrow. It's a little cut in his left eyebrow. That's something Midjourney still has a lot of trouble recreating. I like your little Stopmo Pixit, Enid. That's pretty cute. I like that. I love how tiny her feet are. All right, so we can see with the no romance, no romantic, we have them like running in a park, and also like Sage being really like a little sinister laugh on the top right. Super cute, but it's far less romanticized. There's almost nothing about this that I would describe as romantic. But this is using, I believe, your personalization code though, Second Serve. So we can now select into here, vary region, and just get rid of the character referencing and say comic panels depicting two people running through a park. Okay. I can get rid of the negative prompts because, again, we're not trying to necessarily evoke anything too specific here, but I want to get rid of this panel break. And I want to make sure the tie is makes a little more sense there. And we can kind of also include some of this top right here to kind of evoke, maybe there's a foot that's running. And there we go. We'll just try this selection here. We mostly just want to make sure we over select rather than under select when it comes to trying to change this sort of the dynamics of this shot. Lola soon trying to make a Pixar animation. It's claymation, sure, but it still looks like a Pixar thing to me. But you can see when we're watching this actively live, it really gives you an idea of what works and what doesn't. So it started to try to make the panel breaks, but then on that second result, it did what we wanted it to do. So we'll up-res that. And there you go. We can just in-paint little corrections and things as we go. We can say that we want this to be a black tie, or we can say that her, this is just a comic panel, so it'll fill this in with some generic thing, and so on and so forth. You can definitely keep going with these concepts and make your own Sage and Michael comic. I'm going to try to get in the habit of getting you guys making little, little Sage comics and stuff over time, because I want to be able to include more fan stuff inside of my work. I've done it for a couple people, like Legal Beagle had 2 panels inside of the Working for Weekend series. And I always will put your name on it if you help me out and make a comic with me. So, and also just keep in mind, my comic retention tends to be between, I would say, 750,000 to 4 million views for every comic that I release now. So it is really big. The attention we get for it is enormous. But this looks like something like a Little Mermaid. All right. Rhapsody says, I actually have an idea for a Sage episode that is spooking around my head for a while now. Ooh. Well, I'm definitely curious to hear it. But what I'm going to do here is, because it's like a Little Mermaid kind of thing going on here. I'm liking some of these though. Let's see here. They're watching TV together. Okay. So let's try to, and Michael looks a little funky here, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the character reference entirely. I'm going to keep the style reference. We'll keep the personalization code, and we'll go ahead and get rid of the negative prompt. Sure. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to highlight and select everything of their bodies. Okay. Except for their hands, because I want to make sure they're still holding on to this. And just select all the body here. And then I'm going to hit mermaids. I'm going to write mermaids and then hit submit. If that doesn't work, get rid of the style reference. If that still doesn't work, then did I get rid of the center break? No, I didn't. Let me get rid of the center break as well. I want to keep that fish there though. So let's get rid of the center break. Okay. Submit. Yeah, all this underwater stuff's funny. So it seems like it really wanted to keep the suits because of the style reference. So we'll probably get rid of that too. Yeah, it didn't do the mermaid stuff. It just basically made them in the different outfits. So let's go ahead and jump back up. We're going to hit vary region. And then we are going to get rid of the style reference. Mermaids underwater. And then I'm also going to get rid of this tie, because I feel like that tie is basically enforcing the idea of a suit. Nothing funny going on here. Yep. You're certainly right about that. I'm definitely not being too funny of a person today. That is certainly true. I feel my head is currently on the comic that I plan on releasing on Wednesday. So it's a little tough for me to kind of get out of the mind space of that. But it is certainly true that look, it made Sage like what is it? Her top is definitely far more fun. But it is still what we need to do is I think we need to reinforce that there are 2 mermaids in this shot. So let's up-res this one. Okay. I like that we're getting some chest hair there though. So let's go ahead and say, let's highlight all this outfit that's here. Like this, and get rid of that collar and the top. Okay. And I'm going to say 2 mermaids. 2 mermaids underwater. He kind of looks like the villain from the Superman movies. What is his name? Zaff, not like the old Superman movies. The other super. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. It's a little, now they're at least wearing the same outfits on the second one. But on the fourth one, it looks like something from like what you would imagine being in like a dastardly film. But we need to like change his hands to be accurate here. So let's do that really quick. And it's very easy to do. We're just going to kind of imagine where the thumb would be. Highlight, select that, and then submit that. And whenever you see that there's not enough, whenever it yells at you and says there's not enough room, you can also kind of highlight over to the edge here and just select a large area like this. And that should be enough to let you still select the small region. Lolo soon, if you do end up running like animation or animated like Minimax videos or anything like that with these, they're going to look great because of the constrained 3D or claymation style will just give you a lot of rules for the AI video to base off of, just based on the interrogation of it. So I'm excited to see some of these come to fruition. Ooh, what did you do here at Troll for you? You ran with a different style reference, maybe? No, it's the same one. Wait, what? Oh, you added a weird. You added weird. Okay. Yeah, weird will definitely do weird stuff. That's certainly true. Okay. Let's see. Did it add a thumb in any of these? It added a pinky. We could easily fix this just by selecting this one here and then removing that thumb instead, or because that's that weird gangly thumb that's on here. And then no, because otherwise his arm is going to be wrong. So let's go ahead and deselect this, highlight, select all of this, and I'll also select that finger just because I think that's kind of screwing up the anatomy of this here. And then I'm going to say thumb. I'm just going to not even worry about doing this correctly and just write what I want. And hit thumb. Yeah, weird does a lot of like ever since the cref and the sref parameters, weird and chaos definitely do things that I'm not fully expecting. I know what I'm expecting with chaos, which is little to no consistency between panels and stuff. But weird, it's supposed to give more variety between the 4 results that you get. So yeah, chaos is chaos, right? But at least for me, weird was a little more predictable in some ways, but now I with all the new parameters, and I say new as in relatively new. I'm a little more thrown off with the intent of using weird. Okay, so I didn't get a thumb on any of these. That's fine. Oh wait, no, that's somebody else's. This is Fractal Bob's attempt. Let's see what mine comes out to. You're trying out a different outfit there. Let's see. I didn't get a thumb on any of these, but I got the correct hand on that one there. So let's do the third one here. That's also Fractal Bob. Did mine render yet? Probably not. Aha, mine did, and it definitely did what I wanted to do. You can see it added the thumb there. So let's do that first one. And it also worked on the fourth, but I have a thumb there now. Okay. So we definitely are building up to something when it comes to like just doing, again, changing the outfits, making them fit more to thematically what we want to aim for. Totally possible now. It's awesome. Okay. All right. We're at the end of the stream here. It's 7 o'clock. If you want to come to my server and chat on the stage with us, it'll be Rhapsody, myself, and I Troll for you. And there's a bunch of folks from our server that will be joining the show after the show. So Kinky, if you don't mind posting the link to it inside of the VC text, that would be awesome. But essentially you guys can come on, share your projects, let us know what you guys are up to, and we'll be able to chat about it and prompt with you live, just like we have been here. Thank you so much for that link. Kinky.
Anytime.
Yeah. So inside of VC Text, just click that join button and you'll be able to join our server. We are getting closer to 2,000 members. There'll be a little bit of a celebration when we get to that point. We were a lot closer not that long ago, but we ended up I ended up pruning that server because there were some very, very old accounts on there. So almost at 2,000 active members, which is insane. And I hope to see you guys join, chat with us, and if you got any questions, feel free to ask there. But thank you so much to Ancient and Kinky for hosting this the stream today. And
You.
yeah, thank you guys so much. And I am out for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. And anything else, just I'll see you over at the Gnarly Studios server. Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you guys.